last Friday before we're doing like a pre-week 1 Friday show. This is kind of our last No Seahawks Sunday weekend bump.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I'm happy to be here with you guys. I'm sorry I'm not there. You know, I know it's tough now having me around, but I'm just trying to I'm trying to be the Black Brock Heward, you know. So I'm grateful that, you know, the station allows me to pursue my dreams.
That's
you know?
how I've always described you to people. And then I say, but he's better because he's right-handed. We have to keep our left-handed hate alive so long as Curtis is with us. Curtis, by the way, gets back from vacation next week, too. I saw a couple of people asking about him. Bump, I sent a show email, and I realized that well over half the email was about a team we don't cover.
It was a lot, Stacy. I'm not gonna lie.
I know, and I understand that. However, I think the Micah Parsons trade is absolutely wild. Here's what I'm challenging myself to do to start the show here, and it actually is deeply relevant. While I think the trade in isolation, devoid of anything Seahawks, is really fascinating, and I could talk about it endlessly, we are going to make this about the Seahawks because the Seahawks want to make the playoffs. In fact, I would say the Seahawks should be expecting themselves to make the playoffs. That's the only way up from 10 wins and no playoff appearances last season. Only one way to go is to make the playoffs. You're not going to get 11 wins and not do it. So this is very relevant in terms of a team that's now going to have a harder path with Dallas, a team that has an easier path with the Packers and is standing in your way. But do you mind if we just start by just talking about how we can't believe this happened and what happened? Because I've got some crazy Jerry Jones sound here, and I just have to get your thoughts on some of this. So, first of all, Jerry Jones in a press conference talked about believing that they would be a better team now. I'm just going to shoot this your way.
That's wild.
Is Dallas a better team without Micah Parsons?
No, they're not a better team without Micah Parsons. Here's what they did. All right, you did clear some cap space, right? You did that. Sure. Congratulations. All right, you did get a couple of first-round picks from a good Green Bay team that's not going to have – they're not giving you a top 10 pick, but you did get a couple first-round picks. He talks about stopping the run as well. We couldn't stop the run. So you go ahead and get yourself a veteran defensive tackle that should be able to help you stop the run. But you just lost one of the best players in the game. Let me give him one more I guess, supporting factor, whatnot, when it comes to Dallas. Another thing is, you are not going to win a Super Bowl within the next 3 years. I don't look at the team the way it's constructed and say, this is a Super Bowl, this is a title contending team. And I think, going off of what I've heard from Jerry and going off of what I've seen, that's how he's going to spin this thing. And he's absolutely right. 2 first-round picks, you got a D tackle help stop the run, and you're not going to win a Super Bowl within the next 2 or 3 years the way the team is constructed. But you don't get rid of Micah Parsons. What you do is you start to build around Micah Parsons. He's 26 years of age, okay? Dak can be gone. You get a new quarterback. We'll see what happens with your receiver situation. GMs all across the world, I heard Louis Riddick say this, they dream of drafting a guy like Micah Parsons and extending him. You extend him, and then you build around him. This team is not better. This team's not better. I think you just gave you got the Eagles, they got the Commanders, and you just let the Giants get into the conversation because the Giants are going to be better than what people think they're going to be, and the Cowboys just got worse. That's crazy talk. He did save himself some money, though.
Absolutely wild. I mean, he saved himself a lot of money. Parsons agreed to a 4-year, $188 million deal, including $120 million fully guaranteed with the Packers. Again, though, the Packers ceiling suddenly becomes massive. Another part of this conversation we're going to get to. Give me 30 seconds here because we are going to talk about who's standing in the way of the Seahawks and getting to the playoffs or getting to a Super Bowl or making as good a run as they possibly can. You mentioned the run game there. You're right. Jerry trying to take shots, saying this was a move to be better on defense. Love that line. This was a move to be better on defense, stopping the run. This was a move, if we get behind, not to be run on. He really was taking some shots at Parsons. Now, fun fact, Parsons is the only other NFL player to have 12 or more sacks in each of his first 4 seasons, Reggie White being the only other player to do that. He does not have a sack in the postseason. And in the postseason, over every game that he's played, collectively, I think 3 games, the Cowboys have allowed over 400 yards on the ground. So, look.
Okay.
Now, Parsons got you there. So that's an important part of the recipe. Sometimes, you know, in a small number of appearances, which the Cowboys have had a small number of appearances, you're not going to see the best play. I digress. He also called him Michael.
There was no question in our mind that Michael could bring us a lot of resources on a trade.
I love it. It happened more than once, by the way. You're shaking your head.
Come on now. I get how close the names are, Micah, Michael. Maybe he just got done talking to Michael Irvin and it was on his mind. But show the man some respect. He corrected himself once. I don't know if he did after that. But listen, I don't like to knock older people because it's a blessing and a privilege to live that long. And to have the success business-wise that Jerry Jones has had is amazing. If you're watching the documentary, it makes even more sense. It makes you appreciate who he is as a businessman even more.
Mm-hmm.
But when you start slipping, when you start the franchise player, your former franchise player, and you can't even get his name right, that just shows a little bit of slippage. And I think that there's no one in that building that would even call him out for calling him Michael. That's the problem. He left that podium, and he corrected himself once. He left that podium, and I bet you nobody in his camp was like, dang, Jerry, you called him Michael. No, that's the problem with Dallas.
Don't say anything.
No one says anything. He's the GM. He is the owner, and everyone is shook. They don't want to say anything to him. This situation runs deep.
Seahawks fan in the 253 says, I'd rather have paid Micah Parsons that money as opposed to Dak Prescott. Dak ain't it. Now, I don't want to ask you a question about whether or not they should have paid Dak versus Micah. What I will ask you, speaking of the Seahawks being willing to, should the Seahawks have made this move? Again, I thought it would be 2 firsts and a second minimum. It ends up being 2 firsts, and the Green Bay Packers giving up a very good defensive player, though certainly not Micah. He's also older than Micah. This is a move theoretically the Seahawks could have made. Do you think they should have?
Oh, man, I wanted them to make it. I wanted them. I'm all about getting as much talent as you can. Do I think that they become contenders with Micah? No, I still think that the offense has to improve and show that they can run the football and Sam can do their thing. No, I think I did the right thing, honestly. Selfishly, I wanted the Hawks to do this, but in the long run, you're trying to make sure that you have picks over the next few years and that you're able to adjust accordingly if the offense doesn't pan out. Mm-hmm. If the offense doesn't pan out the way that we hope that it does, now you're handcuffed because you gave up a bunch of picks to go ahead and get Micah Parsons. So, no, they did the right thing. My impulse buy, when I see like a brand new 60-degree wedge is nice and shiny on Amazon and for the low, I want to push that button real quick and go and get the
buy
wedge.
Now. Don't even add it to your cart.
Right now. That's how I was with Micah. But then I wake up in the morning and I go, I didn't need that wedge, really, man.
No, but those are when you get the surprise packages where you're like, wait, what do you mean I have a delivery? That's awesome. What did I order? We'll find out together. 206, Green Bay needs to stop the run to beat the Lions. Does this help them win their conference? Again, I'm going to alter this question a little bit for you. The Seahawks also need to focus, like any team, especially in the NFC, on really, really stopping the run. Is it fair to expect that Micah be solely – I know you got to contain the edge. I get it. Like, he's got responsibilities, but I think that can also be an interior of your defensive line, off-ball linebacker issue.
Yeah, stopping the run all starts with the bigs inside and those linebackers, right? The bigs take on the double teams, allow the linebackers to get downhill and get after the quarterback. Yeah, you still need to be able to stop the run, especially when you're in a conference with the Detroit Lions over there. 100%, I get it. But sometimes you can just outshoot the shooter. Sometimes you can just win games in different ways. And Micah Parsons is the type of guy that can explode and have 2.5 sacks in a game and just wreck stuff up. Football is such a team sport that one guy isn't going to just change everything. But what it can do is give you that little push, that little gust of wind that is going to make my flight go from Phoenix to Seattle instead of 3 hours, 2 hours and 45 minutes, right? That is what Micah Parsons is. And you want guys like that, and you locked him up. Right, he's locked up. He's going to be there for, what, 3 or 4 years now? My man got 136 in total guaranteed. Goodness gracious.
Crazy.
But the Green Bay Packers are also looking at their situation and saying, we got Jordan Love. I told you, I watched Jordan Love this year. You got some wideouts over there. You got to fix those drop situations. They just became legit contenders. I had them as, like, the second-tier type of guys in the NFC. Now they're talking to the big dogs. Now they're hanging out with the Eagles. They're hanging out with the Detroit Lions. They're in the conversation. They still have some flaws. Every team has flaws. But you got a chance to sign a guy like Micah. You go ahead and get it.
Packers GM Brian Gutekunst has said numerous times, though said so relatively recently, you're never just a player away. And he said that when he was being asked specifically about the roster, whether or not they'd make a move for Micah. And I think he was just trying to speak broadly. You're never just one player away. On the one hand, this is a philosophical way for GMs to look at teams and look at all the different moving pieces that you have and look at building towards the future over multiple years, right? It's about expanding your view of the team, not making dumb, drastic decisions. I get it. It's probably easier to feel like you're one player away when that player isn't your quarterback. I think I also see this as the difference between where the Packers and Seahawks are. I would have loved the Seahawks to trade for Micah Parsons. The Packers, while people aren't universally high on Jordan Love, have an answer there. Like, he's their franchise guy. That's their dude.
Yeah.
The Seahawks don't, right? Do they?
They're trying to figure it out.
Do you see that as being the key difference, too?
Yeah, they're trying to figure it out. Jordan Love has shown he can play in this league. He's been in the league a lot less time than Sam Darnold, but the belief in Jordan Love is a lot higher than Sam Darnold because he's done it over a couple seasons. He has more proof in the pudding. Over here, you're trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
If you had a franchise quarterback, a guy that you felt was going to be here for the next 4 or 5 years, maybe you do make a move like that. Because now you got to reserve your picks for the just in case. Just in case we don't have our guy, how are we going to pivot and get the right guy in here? Just in case Milroe doesn't work out. Maybe Sam don't work out. You got to go to Milroe. We don't want to dig a hole so deep that you'll be climbing out of it for the next 3 or 4 seasons with uncertainty. Teams like the Green Bay Packers are the ones that are supposed to make this move because they are contenders right now in their division or in their conference, excuse me. Like the Chiefs could have made a move like this. Baltimore, even Cincinnati with what they got going on over there. They need help on that defense. But you got to be able to right now on August 29th say, we're playing for a conference championship. Those are the teams that are supposed to make the move to grab Micah Parsons.
206. Sam's proven more than Love, in my opinion. Jordan's never gotten his team a 1 seed. Now, that's a really good point, 206. But I'll say this. While I admit that I know a lot less about football than John Schneider, then why did John Schneider give himself an out after 1 year in Sam Darnold's contract?
Exactly.
Then why didn't the Vikings, who, by the way, won more games last year than they did since, like, I don't know, sometime in the 90s, then why did they not hang on together? Forget having J.J. McCarthy. If you really thought that Sam, only like, what, 27? If you were like, oh, he can do this again, you're paying him.
Yeah.
Why didn't they? You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, I think Sam has a ton of talent. Seems like a really likable guy. And the Seahawks clearly have faith in him, believe in him. But the evaluation from inside the league also seems to be a bit different on Sam compared to Jordan Love.
Because he's done it 1 year. Jordan Love, his first year being able to start. First year. All right. It didn't take him 6-7 years to do this. Like Sam. Not knocking Sam, but that was the situation, and Jordan Love is in a better situation than Sam was. His first year, he completes 64% of his passes, 4,100 yards, 32 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. His first year. His second year, he gets hurt in Brazil as the starter. He hurt in Brazil, misses a couple games, still goes 3,300 yards, 25 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. In 2 years, he's already done more than what Sam Darnold has done in 6-7 years in the game. That's why Jordan Love has done more. And he's younger. He's 26 years old. How old is Sam? I mean, Sam ain't old.
I think he's 27. He's still young.
Yeah, Sam ain't old. But in 2 years, he's shown it. And then you got to look at the film and the decision-making and all that, all the other little things that most people aren't going to look at. Easy way to look at it, 2 years being a starter, he's shown he can do it. Sam's been a starter in this league for at least, 4 or 5 years or had opportunities to do it, and he's only shown it once.
All right. Quickly, I forgot to include this in my snapshot before we began the show, and we aren't focusing too much on it for headline rewrites. So from Ryan Divish, Victor Robles' suspension's been reduced to 7 games upon appeal. He's going to begin serving it tonight. So just a heads up, obviously not in the lineup tonight. Team going to be a man down, but overall, 7 games, better than 10 when it comes to that suspension. So again, that begins today, and that's been confirmed by our Mariners insider Shannon Dreyer as well. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bob and Stacy.
The college football season officially kicked off yesterday with Boise State getting blown out by South Florida 37-14. 34-7. What's the real headline?
A preview of next year's Pac-12. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
You forget where you come from sometimes.
I know, I change.
You forget where you come from.
I'm someone who, if I win the lotto, I'm forgetting all of your names. I'm never coming back here again. I'm not even speaking to my family. I'm a different person. I'm going to become a monster, and it's going to be like a $20,000 jackpot.
I'm gone. I'm rich.
I'm out of here. I'm like knocking things off desks because I'm quitting. 2 months later, hey guys.
That was hard to watch. I was watching it in the airport, and then I was up in the sky watching this thing go down, and I just shook my head. The one team that the Pac had ranked, you go out there and get smacked like that on a Thursday night. But I wasn't surprised at the same time because Boise State, they're one of those programs to where it's hard to reload every single year at Boise State. I don't know what their NIL looks like. I don't know how much money they're giving these players, but you know that it's tough. And whenever you play a team that has some Florida boys on that squad, you are liable to get beat. They are the overall, in my opinion, the best football players, at least skilled players that we have in this country. And South Florida gets like the third-tier Florida boy and still produces. So it was unfortunate. Bad start for the Pac. We'll talk about this later, and I'm a bit concerned about my Cougs against Idaho.
Oh, that's a great tease because we are going to have a UW Wazoo Week 1 preview coming up later in the show. What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Kyle Schwarber became the 21st major leaguer to hit 4 home runs in a game last night. What's the real headline?
I can't believe this, but Cal's home run lead went from 5 to 1 in one game. Granted, you're looking at someone in the National League, so still the American League leader. And
now it's okay.
Still MLB leader, but by 1, Cal, you got to hit 51 tonight, buddy. You got to do it.
Schwarber, man, I'm telling you, if I could come back and just be any type of baseball player, it'd be a Schwarber. Like, he just hits bombs. He looks like he cracks beers over his head and then pounds them like Steve Austin, and then go ahead and picks up his nieces and nephews and runs around the backyard. He just gives me the kind of guy that I want to hang out with vibe. But yeah, I saw that, and this is scary because you felt like he had a nice little cushion and Cal didn't have to stress or press. And I hope he doesn't. Just keep your same swing. Don't do anything crazy. It's gotten you this far. But I did not appreciate Schwarber having the night that he had.
I thought it was exceptionally rude, which is very, very rude. Just so sick of Kyle. He won it in the swing off at the not the Derby, the All-Star game, won it for the National League. He's already crushed American League dreams this year.
Right.
Really cool to watch. It is crazy. Is it just me? Ian, are there like more home runs this year? I think this is insane to me. Or am I just noticing it because we're talking about a Mariner?
Balls flying this summer.
Balls are juiced.
Balls are flying this summer.
Yeah, absolutely. It's absolutely insane that we've got obviously Judge is over 40, Ohtani's over 40. You've got Gino Suarez over 40, Cal at 50. Knock on wood, hopefully going over 50 in this series.
Was last year a big strikeout year? Like, if this year's
For
a
the
big
Mariners.
home run. Last year was a big strikeout year for the Mariners. It feels like sometimes MLB will flip-flop.
Interesting how they do that. What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce were seen together at last night's Nebraska-Cincinnati game. What's the real headline?
Oh, so now she's invading college football, too. Wow. I thought Saturdays were for the boys, Taylor. Keep it together.
Taylor, you do whatever you want to do,
Do
girl.
whatever you want, Taylor.
It's your world. Everyone has their time. Everyone has their time. You know what? Sometimes some people have their time in elementary, middle school, high school, when they peaked. She is still rising. She is on the rise right now as we speak. And I'm not even mad. At first, I was annoyed by seeing her all the time.
Were you?
I was. But then I was like, I'm a Laker fan. They always pan to some celebrity in the crowd at Laker games. And then I said, why are you hating on her like that? You guys have the same birthday, all right? She's a Saggy just like you. And I need to just put that. Sometimes you just hate for no reason. And I caught myself. I go, why are you doing this?
And then you were
she
like,
did
hey,
nothing
twin.
to you.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, what up, girl? Hey, boy, Taylor Swift, show her, man. Hey, as long as Travis Kelce is happy, I'm good.
Happy.
Just don't mess this up because she will write a fire album about you, dog.
City Boy's way up right now with this
We way
engagement. You're way up. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The scoreboard is not looking great. But overall, I feel the same way. I was just talking with my sister about this the other day, where granted, we're going to be a little biased here. Neither of us are like Taylor Swift fans, but I think both of us think like, well, what's the issue? She's just Taylor Swift. Like, she's kind of harmless. But also, the camera isn't panning to Taylor Swift like in the middle of a important play, 3rd and 2, let's see what's going to happen here, and they're like, let's check in on Taylor Swift. That's not what's happening. It's like coming back from a commercial break, or it's like when they would have shots of the crowd anyways, or the sideline anyways, because they're showing reactions to a touchdown. So why are you mad about it? I don't know. It's really weird, and I think it's deeply rooted in like some weird insecurity kind of. They're invading. I don't know. I think there's also a lot of people where it's like, I would imagine out there are a lot of dads or moms that are football fans, and they have teenage kids or young girls that are now more interested in watching the game with them. And I think that's awesome.
You know what I think it was? I think it was like when you go out to watch a football game and someone shows up with their girl. And they're like, oh, why you bring her? Why you bring her? But then she sits down and you're like, she's actually kind of cool, though. You know,
That's
like,
exactly what
you know,
it is.
she's kind of cool. I think I was tripping. She can come to the game. Not every game, but she can come kick it. She can come kick it.
I do. So we only have a minute and a half here, but I want to get back just for a second to the Micah Parsons conversation. And I want to focus on that issue or question about like someone being a headache versus what they bring to your team. Because John Schneider clearly has moved on from guys that are talented but not worth the stress. He's also clearly been willing to deal with those guys. We knew Jamal Adams had a big personality before the Seahawks traded with him. You know what I mean? Like, there are players he's acquired that have had personality questions. When is it worth it? Like, do you think it's ever, for instance, for Micah, how far down the list would, he's got an issue with DeMarcus Lawrence and is maybe a headache rank for you?
Not very high. DeMarcus, love you, and you're going to do great things. But you have to build for the future. You have to build your team how you see fit. And if John Schneider saw that as an issue, and that was one of the reasons why, then so be it. But it has to be that and several other things and several other situations. Like, all right, he doesn't get along with this guy. I don't want to give up 2 first-round picks. I don't want to give up another player. They're asking too much. I'm good. It can't just be, they don't get along. You know how many people I played with I didn't get along with? And still blood, sweat, and tears will do anything for him on the football field.
Let me tell you
what.
As
soon as the pads are off, the cleats are untied, it's deuces. I'll see you tomorrow.
I and every other reporter have covered people who we knew hated each other, who would like openly, you're like, no, I'm not going to include that line here. I don't know if I'm going to include that part. Like, just did not like each other, would get frustrated with each other. There's an underlying tone of respect when players recognize if someone else is a good player or talented, but there's certainly at times animosity when you just don't like someone.
Yeah.
And I do wonder, I'm just curious about, I wish I could speak off the record to like John Schneider or Brian Gutekunst with the Packers and be like, do you ever draw a line? Like, if someone continues to produce at a Pro Bowl, all-pro level, how bad do they have to be before you're like, all right, no?
There's always a line. There's always a line.
Yeah. All right. Shannon Drayer had a chance to interview Cal Raleigh yesterday. What's the difference between hitting 2nd and 3rd in the lineup? And what do players do when they're in a slump? Hear what the league's home run leader had to say next.
Wyman and Bob.
We've got Gray Zabel, rookie guard.
Every afternoon at 2.
Our texters that text into the show will give you, some restaurant advice. Which way should they direct you?
Man, the simple thing is just you run the damn ball with like a steak and potato type restaurant.
I would certainly start with El Gaucho.
That's my favorite. I'm getting cultured by my left tackle, Charles Cross. So I just tried sushi for the first time like a week ago. That was all right.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Hey, baseball fans, T-Mobile is turning up the excitement with the Grand Slam giveaway. Want to score 4 premium tickets to an upcoming professional baseball game? This is your shot to experience the action like a VIP. Stop by your nearest T-Mobile Experience store and enter for your chance to win. While you're there, check out all the amazing deals and perks waiting for you with T-Mobile, your hometown network. Don't strike out. The Grand Slam giveaway won't last forever. Visit your local T-Mobile Experience store today for your chance to win 4 premium professional baseball tickets.
We at 3 Tree Roofing understand that your home is your castle. That's why our certified technicians use state-of-the-art installation methods to deliver the highest warranties available. Check out our hundreds of online reviews and schedule a free estimate to see for yourself. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. Are they a reliable service? How will I know if something happens? Are they keeping everyone safe? At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today to talk to a local security expert.
Hey, it's Dr. Coogan from Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. We've been fortunate to work with over 4,000 local people and help them hit some pretty amazing weight loss goals. I'm joined by two of them right now, Mike Salk and Ryan Rowland-Smith. Mike, you were able to lose about a pound per day for over a month, 35 pounds in total.
Well, as much as I'd love to take all the credit, really, I was just following the plan. Eastside Weight Loss Clinic made it super easy, and there really was no part I struggled with. I was eating delicious, fresh food, all while losing weight. The accountability from your team was great. It just helped me keep the focus. I felt catered to the entire way, and I think Ryan really had a similar experience.
No doubt about it. I just finished up the program, and I can't believe how well it worked. I wish I would have started sooner. Talk about motivation. Salt, thanks for the recommendation.
No surgery, no exercise, no packaged meals, no drugs or injections. Just delicious food and a plan that works. Schedule a free 15-minute consultation today at eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
By texting 64000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in Seattle without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in Seattle for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text FREE to 64,000. Seattle is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop next week right here in Seattle and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text FREE to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes, and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text FREE to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text FREE to 64,000.
Beat rising costs at Lake Washington Windows and Doors. For a limited time, get a 20% inflation discount and enjoy easy 18-month free financing with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest. Details at lakewashingtonwindows.com.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Dave Wyman joined by another Swedish cyberknife patient to offer a glowing endorsement of their prostate cancer treatment. Tim Hunter, a lifelong local radio host, underwent Swedish cyberknife treatment for prostate cancer less than a year ago. How did you hear about Swedish cyberknife?
Well, it was this familiar-sounding voice on the radio telling me about it, and so I thought I'd investigate that. Everything I heard was what I wanted to hear, and so I reached out.
What's it like to go through the cyberknife treatment?
Well, you go in, you do a 5-day-in-a-row stint. You go to the Swedish hospital, and it's they say set aside 45 minutes for each treatment. It's really only about 35 minutes of that little robotic arm dancing around you. There's no pain involved. It's just a matter of listening to music in headphones and trying your best not to move.
Looking back on your Swedish cyberknife experience, what stood out?
It was too easy. It was just too easy. I went through it and I just went, that's it?
Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife. Go to swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Cal Raleigh show was yesterday. Shannon Dreyer talked to the Mariners home run leader, the league's home run leader, about a couple things. Guys, I wanted to focus on what he had to say about hitting second versus third in the lineup, since Bump and I have seen a couple questions about that, and also everything he had to say about kind of how you work your way out of a slump and what it feels when, a team really gets going. So we'll start with the latter. Talking about kind of what it's like when you're in a collective slump as a team.
Yeah, it's baseball, right? you're going to run into cliche answer, but it's true. You're going to run into some good pitchers. You're going to run into, a few roadblocks here and there every once in a while, and it's just kind of how it goes. And there's going to be times when things are going your way and times when they don't go your way. So, it's just one of those things where, you don't want it to happen. It happens sometimes, and kind of like hitting is contagious in a good way. It can also be contagious in a bad way. So, but just trying to continue to find ways and grind through those and try to shorten those windows like we talked about, and trying to find ways to win even when, things aren't going your way.
Thought it was interesting to hear him say, just like hitting is contagious and comes in bunches in a good way, it can be contagious in a bad way. Bump, when you've been on teams, is there ever a collective slump that happens? Like not just one guy struggling, but like just everything feels like it's going wrong?
Well, for me, it would have to be on offense.
Right.
There have been practices where one thing happens as a false start. Then there's another false start. Then there's a drop pass. Then there's a fumble, and it just starts to compound. It's happened in the games too. It does become contagious. And then emotions start to get all crazy and out of whack. And this guy's shouting at this guy, and coaches got to get involved. And, in football, it looks a bit different, but I think that you can still feel it. In basketball, it's like turnovers and missing easy layups or missing open jump shots and not being able to connect the dots the way that you're used to doing. So, it is, man. We're humans. We're vibes. Humans feed off each other's vibes.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to be a negative person and live in that space, you go surround yourself with negative people. You want to be a positive, surround yourself by positive. And sometimes in baseball, it just happens. The vibes aren't good in the dugout. They can't always be good. So, it's a real thing, and it happens.
Now, the opposite is also true. Cal talked about what led to the offense finding its footing during this homestand.
Good at bats, it's contagious. Running the bases well, hitting with runners in scoring position, drawing our walks, a couple long balls here and there. But, it's just one of those things that, when guys start rolling, it's hard to stop.
That's also contagious, apparently. No, Bump, you've also talked about like seeing guys in flow states. What's that mean?
Oh, it's a beautiful thing, that flow state. It's beautiful. I llove watching it. I search for it every day of my life. And the flow state is just when everything is making sense. I'm sure you've been in flow states.
Oh,
I've seen you do your read sometime, and
Breaking
she's doing a
news.
read, and I'm like, oh snaps,
Yeah,
Waystar
clock
40
integrity.
just got one today. Like, dang, she's killing it right now. It's and it happens in life. It happens in everything, right? And what that looks like for baseball is when guys aren't swinging at the nasty pitch. They're just getting on base. They're going oppo when the pitch requires it. They're pulling it and getting it up in the air. It's just everything seems to connect. There was a series or an inning. I forgot what series it was. There was some inning recently where they scored like 6 runs, right? 6 runs in an inning. And I'm like, that is flow state right there where everything is connected, and then your pitcher goes out there and dominates. It's hard to get everyone there at the same time, though, especially in baseball, because it's such a start-stop individual type of thing. But when it's there and when the Mariners are in that flow state, they're one of the best in the game.
Let's talk about the lineup a little bit. I've seen a couple of people say, I did love Cal at second, but, maybe he needs to see a bit more before the game starts. Should we push him back a little bit? Those comments have quieted down a bit as he, broke Sal's record, continued to kind of, get to 50. Haven't seen quite as much of it. But Cal broke down the difference between hitting second and third.
It's just a quicker turnaround, as far as like getting up to the plate. You're getting more ABs, you're not getting as much time to, because you're in the top of the order, so you're not getting as much time to watch the pitcher, watch what's going on. So, yeah, just a quicker turnaround time.
Okay, so quicker turnaround. You don't get quite as much time to watch the pitcher. He adds, though, that having a set lineup helps.
It just brings a consistency every day. And, guys, it makes you, you're able to do your job a lot easier, when, all right, well, I'm going to be in the lineup, I'm going to be in the same spot every day. I know what my job is, I'm trying to get on base, or I'm trying to drive in runs, or my job's, to protect this guy, or vice versa, whatever it is. So it's nice to have a consistency every single day. And like I said, it brings that peace of mind. And you don't have to show up to the field every day. Am I going to get, moved down because I went 0 for 3, or just having to check every single day, kind of looking over your shoulder in a way.
I know you traditionally have a hitter like Cal at third, but I liked it when that lineup kind of first saw the debut of where it has Gino and Naylor, and it was a Rosarena leading off, Cal second. I liked the lineup, and I don't think I fully turned on it yet, even though Cal did kind of get into a bit of a slump there. Do you still like him at second?
Yeah, no, I still like it. I want Cal to get as many ABs as possible, and being in the 2 spot is going to get you exactly that. I was laughing a little bit when Cal was like, yeah, it's nice when you're going to be there. No matter what happens, you go 0 for 3 or whatnot. I go, yeah, for you, for MVP, yeah, you're going to stay right there.
You go 0 for 4.
It was like, Cal, you're good. Stay right there. We're going to work this thing out. Now, about 3 or 4 of the dudes in this lineup, they're like, yeah, they might move me around if I go 0 for 4, 0 for 5. But, yeah, but he's earned that. He's earned that. That's a hierarchy of sports. Other guys get more chances because of what they've done over the season. That's where Cal is. And I think Cal is at the point of his career to where if they wanted to move him, they would have a conversation with him and say, hey, Cal, this is what we're thinking. What are your thoughts? To whereas Cal, maybe a couple of years ago, they're just going to move him, and he has to deal with it.
I was thinking that, too. I remember seeing a comment from someone saying, hey, I know he's had a great season, but what if Dan just bumps him back, 5th, 6th, whatever, just to let him. And it's like, I get the thought, because it's one we'd have about any player. We were talking about this with Julio, and sometimes it can help a player, but it's just that's a season, the one Cal's having, that you just don't touch, and you're in kind of a different bracket. You're in a different tax bracket.
Different tax bracket.
At that point. Okay. Last one I wanted to get to, Cal talked about whether or not it means more that he's got some record-breaking home runs from the right side.
I know I've always been able to hit from the right side. It does make it a little sweeter, I guess, since I've been told before, or whether it's direct or indirectly, that I can't hit from the right side. So it does make it a cool little thing. But I'm past that in the sense of that, and I know I can swing it from the right side, and it's just taking a little more time. But it was good. It was great. Cool moments for sure. That a lot of my homers have been from the left side, so to do that from the right side was a cool moment.
Bump, I don't know if Cal ever has this season again. I'm going to guess no. It would be great, but I'm going to guess no. That being said, I do think there was a very real step forward made just from continuing to work really, really hard from the right side. And the splits are obviously great on the left, but you've seen that monumental step forward between, I think he had 188 in 2024 and then, 260 or something this year. And obviously that's varied. But the question that we were asking ourselves so much earlier this year as Cal was racking up these home runs, what changed? What changed? What changed? What happened? And I kept trying to figure it out. It's this piece of the puzzle. And then you have people outside of Seattle going, this doesn't make sense. What's happening there? And it's he was always a good hitter from the left. So you do make some changes with your stance and your swing, just little tiny tweaks. He's talked about how he changed his swing and what he specifically did to work on it. But it's also getting those reps. And if you're able to be this true, really talented switch hitter, well, yeah, it makes sense that you'd be consistently more productive there.
It's all about reps. Anything you do in life, you're going to get better if you do it enough. You get over and over and over again. I think I'd asked Shannon about if she knew if he changed anything with his preparation when it comes to hitting from that side of the plate, and she couldn't really nail it down, but pretty much said that he was conscious about it. He worked on him because there was a time where you could flip him and you feel great about flipping him, and now it does not matter who, lefty, righty, it doesn't matter. He's going to get it done. And you got to have the talent too, right? You can get better at something, but your talent's only going to allow you to maximize it so much. With Cal, he's just been gifted with that, man. So it's the work that he puts in. it's the discipline that he has too with his lifestyle, because you have to eat, sleep, and do all this stuff, especially in a baseball season. 162, you're on the road with 9 games at a time sometimes. There's a lot of discipline that comes into it as well. So it's preparation, it's discipline, it's reps, all the above, man. And Cal has seemed to figure it out this year.
Well, what the Mariners are still working to figure out is why they struggled at times on the road. We get to that next.
And the pitch on the way to Junior.
It's been 27 years since a Mariners slugger has reached the half-century mark.
Breaking ball, belted into the upper deck.
Look out, Junior. You've got company.
Upper deck, goodbye baseball, number 50 for Cal Raleigh.
This is where you hear Cal's quest for 56.
Magical.
And the Mariners push to the playoffs. Seattle Sports, the home of the Mariners.
When your outside matches how you feel on the inside, that's kindness. And so I think that is the one thing that the Lee Johnson Auto family encourages us, is to be like really authentic and really be intentional in how we treat our customers and how we treat each other.
To have a good company, have a good culture, have a good crew that takes care of your customer base, you have to take care of your crew. You can't have miserable people and expect them to give a customer a good experience.
Walking in here, meeting some of the employees already before I was even hired on, welcoming me in, gave me a good indication what this company was all about. So if I were to make an hour and a half drive here and to have fun here for 8 to 9 hours a day versus if it's the other way around, then I'll take it.
It's not a script. It's a belief. The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Protect your home and auto by bundling them with Progressive, and you'll have a little less to worry about. But we know you'll find other things to worry about. Like that text you just got from your boss. Hey, call me when you get a sec. Hey, call me when you get a sec. Hey, call me when you get a sec. Oh, hey, call me when you get a sec. Yeah, this is bad. Oh, well, at least you protected your home and auto with Progressive, so you don't have to worry about that. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When you own a business, it feels like everything's on you. Orders, deliveries, employees, on you. That's why Comcast Business is giving you a year of mobile on us with your internet service. Really? Yep. We'll cover your first line of mobile for 1 year. So calling customers, getting directions, texting Janine and shipping, on us. The broken coffee maker? That one's still on you. Which means you'll save hundreds for your business and get the fastest mobile service with 5G cellular and Wi-Fi hotspots. On us. But hurry, this deal won't last long. Get a mobile plan and free up the budget to maybe, I don't know, fix that coffee maker? Get mobile on us for 1 year. You guessed it. On us. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 10/9/25. Restrictions apply. New mobile customers only with internet standard service or above. Limited to value of 1 unlimited intro line apply via 12 monthly internet bill credits. 1 discount per account. Fastest mobile based on mobile Wi-Fi and cellular data in service areas. Ookla Speed Test Intelligence 2H24.
Your new beginning starts now. D.R. Horton has new construction homes available throughout the greater Seattle area. With spacious floor plans, flexible living spaces, and home technology packages, you can enjoy more cozy moments and sweet memories in your beautiful new home. With new home communities opening throughout the Seattle area, D.R. Horton has the ideal home for you. Visit drhorton.com to learn more. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal swinging a drive, deep to right field.
Every pitch of every Mariners game is on the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, are aches, injuries, or everyday pain slowing you down? Well, it is time to move better, feel stronger, and get back to doing what you love. IRG Physical and Hand Therapy is now accepting new patients, and no referral is needed. Their expert team offers personalized hands-on care to help you recover faster and stay pain-free longer. Shannon, what is it like to see new patients walk through your doors?
Rock, it's wonderful. You know why? It's because it's an opportunity for us at IRG to make a difference in someone's lives. It's so important that when people come in, they experience engagement, coaching, teaching. We build relationships with our patients, and we want to make it easy. We all know that healthcare has a lot of what I call minutia in it. We have a concierge call center. When you call, we're going to check your authorization, verification, certification, justification. We're going to find out everything we need to know about your insurance, and we're going to make it easy for you because we want you focusing on getting better.
And all you got to do is head over to irgpt.com to find the clinic nearest you. irgpt.com.
Seattle, your waterfront park is here. Celebrate the opening of 20 acres of world-class public space on the downtown shoreline at the grand opening celebration September 6th. Enjoy free live performances, family activities, cultural experiences, and more across the entire park, from Overlook Walk to Pier 62. Join Friends of Waterfront Park in the city of Seattle for this once-in-a-generation event. Be part of history. Plan your visit at waterfrontparkseattle.org.
Hey, college students, Safeway is giving you 5% off. That's right. Junior colleges, tech schools, universities, just verify your student ID in the app, unlock exclusive deals, and shop on the app or in person. Better yet, subscribe to Fresh Pass to get free delivery and other special offers. Remember, if you use EBT, Fresh Pass is 50% off and you get savings on fresh produce. For all the details, visit Safeway.com/4U. That's Safeway.com/FOR in the letter U.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Coming up in 15 minutes, X-factors and bold predictions for the NFC West. Before we get to that, though, talking Mariners, in particular, what they've been doing on the road. They're set to begin a series tonight against the Cleveland Guardians in Cleveland. First pitch is going to be at 4:15, so we're going to find out how it goes pretty early. You're not going to have to wait until 6:40. Pregame show starts at 3 p.m. right here on Seattle Sports. George Kirby on the mound, and it's a great way to start because, Bump, one of the things we've been wondering is why isn't starting pitching quite the same at home? It's one thing to have, ballpark factors at play here at T-Mobile, but even that doesn't really explain the differences we're seeing, pretty massive ones between 2024 and 2025. And that's not the only area where they've struggled. The record as a whole is lower on the road. John Smoltz this morning with Brock and Salk asked about the Mariners' road struggles.
So the home and road splits don't always guarantee anything, but you have to look at them. And if a manager doesn't look, I think I asked managers, he said, when it's glaring, I really make those decisions. When it's just something you go, I don't think it's going to last, then I don't put too much stock into it. But the Mariners have had some kind of weird games lately where you think they should have won some of these games, and it comes down to that last couple years. Can they get to the point where A, they believe, and B, they can win those close games and punch that ticket? And if they punch that ticket, then I think that starting pitching gets a little bit of an adrenaline boost. But I've watched them over the years and how they've performed. This might be one of those little bit of an outlier years because they're probably not performing as well as expected just based on how good they've been in the past.
It is not weird at all to struggle on the road or to have those road splits be a bit bad. And this is kind of like, Bump, you know this, regardless of sport, regardless of league, it is just a little bit harder. The Detroit Tigers, who have 78 wins this year, 44-25 at home, they're 34-32 in away. Now they are over 500 on the road, but you can pick almost any team and typically that record is going to be worse. Okay. When do you, Bump, start to get a little concerned? Is there an area of play? Is there a certain number? Is there a difference? When do you actually get concerned about road performance at all?
When you are up in the division and you start to trick it off.
When it's costing you.
Yeah, when it's all right, you've got a 2-3 game lead with 10 games left, 15 games left, and you're not able to get it done. Or if you're playing in ballparks that have typically shown that you should hit the ball here, like you're playing in Colorado, if you're playing in Cincinnati, you're not able to get her done. There are some ballparks where the ball should fly and you should be decent. And if you aren't at least decent in those ballparks, then I start to trip. And it really comes down to pitching to me too, right? The better the pitching, the less concerned I am, no matter where you're playing. And for the most part, this pitching has not touched what they've done last year. If you just look at the quality starts that this team or this rotation has put together last year, they're what, one or two. This year, I believe they're like 8th or 9th or something like that. So it's all correlated, but the road factors are real. Mm-hmm. You're traveling, you're sleeping in a hotel, the fans aren't supporting you. As much as people want these guys to be robots and not be affected by it, the boos do get you sometimes. Your concentration is different. The environment is different. It's just harder to play on the road. Let me think, my best game I ever played in college, I probably went for like $120 and 1 or 2 touchdowns, and it was at the house. One of the worst games I've ever played, I erased those, so I'll just assume that it was on the road.
I'll assume it happened.
I assume it was on the road. It's just the senses are different. It's not an excuse. It's just reality. It's like when you travel. When people travel, and it's fun to travel, you like going and seeing things or whatnot, but when you lay in your own bed, you come home and you lay in your bed, all is right. Just imagine that, but with sports.
All right. Well, the good news is that we obviously love a lot of what we're seeing from the offense. And while different guys have hit slumps, sometimes at the same time, sometimes at different time, I think we can all stand back and say we feel pretty good about this lineup. John Smoltz was asked about the addition of Geno Suarez and Josh Naylor.
The first couple things that come to my mind is, boy, oh boy, did they need the offense, right? Seattle's biggest thing has been they have struggled to score runs on a consistent basis, and it's probably the reason they've missed the playoffs a couple times. So, they got the corners that right and left, and it's just it's a huge boost. Now, this has been a strange year for mega trades on teams that you would think just went like the Met until recently. How in the world has that not worked out? And then the Padres have been back and forth with their mega moves. I thought Seattle did the most with the least amount of moves in improving their chances from where they sat to what their offense is now. And that's got to be a clubhouse. I know I've been there when we got a Fred McGriff, or we got we made all those kind of trades that you're looking to your management. You're going, please, please, please. And I just think that was the difference. I still think it's going to be the difference.
No, they have taken a monumental step offensively. They're still striking out. Post All-Star break, they're 3rd league-wide in strikeouts, but they're also 3rd in home runs. So you added a ton of power. They're stealing a ton of bases. They're still drawing walks. I feel not fully confident in the pitching, but it makes it a lot easier to stomach some regression there when the offense has taken a step forward. What about you?
Yeah, exactly. And if you're hitting more home runs, you're naturally going to strike out more.
Yeah.
That's just the nature of baseball. That's how that goes down. You look at all the individual power hitters in this game. If you're hitting a whole bunch of bombs, you're going to strike out a lot. That's just the way your swing is and what your approach is. It's about balance. Life is about balance. All right. If I'm a team using football, if I'm a team that can run the heck out of the football, I don't need a 1,300-yard receiver. Nah, give me a few 800-900s and be good in the red zone, and we'll be fine. If I'm a team that is struggling to run the football like I have to do it because I got to show the defense I can do it. Now I need a couple 1,000-yard receivers on the outside. It's no coincidence that there are a couple years where Tyler Lockett and DK both go for over 1,000 yards because you weren't able to run the football, right? There has to be balance. If I have a defense that gets a whole bunch of turnovers, right, give me the football in a position of the field that's advantageous, my offense probably ain't going to have the yards that a team that defense isn't that great, right? I don't know for sure I could pull it up, but I guarantee you Cincinnati, their yards were crazy. You know why they were crazy? Because they're getting scored on and having to go 80 yards every single drive to put points on the board. So it's the same thing there. If the pitching is not doing well or not playing to the standards that we're used to, the reason why we're not stressed out is because we know that there's pop in this lineup. Mm-hmm. You got 2 guys over 40 bombs. You got another 2 guys with over 20 bombs. You're stealing bases. There are things that this team is good at naturally that can help this staff out while they get going. Now, if you just get into the playoffs and that rotation shrinks, that's where I get excited now, because you don't have to depend on the fifth guy to come out there against a team that slugs and pray that he gets it done.
Well, and to stick with the football analogy, I think another one that fits for the Mariners this year would be like, there are some seasons when you just don't have that talent. Last year, it would be, like if you look at your wide receiver room and you just have no one. So you can't expect to stack up those receiving numbers because you're like, well, who's going to do it? Like, is this random dude suddenly, like, all due respect, but is like a Paul Richardson suddenly going to become Jamar Chase? No, he has a role. Like, he's going to find the end zone. He's going to do his thing, but he's just not that guy. With the rotation this year, it's almost like if you were like, oh, I hate that we don't have a run game. Marshawn Lynch is here, though. And it's like, that this group has the potential not just to be good, but to be really great. They haven't done that this year. They're not consistent this year, but they're here. They're in the building. That was only a year ago. We aren't talking about guys where it's, years down the road and they're, shells of themselves. This exact same group that last year led the league in ERA is here this year. Yeah. They've been dealing with injuries. They've had some, disruptions to their seasons. It's not been easy for them. And honestly, maybe for some of them last year was a career high with certain things, and that's just not truly reflective of who they are long term. I don't care. The same group is here. You're looking at them going, well, there are worse places to be. You could be looking at a group that had to trade George to add offense or had to trade Logan to add offense. This group didn't.
Last thing, I know we got to get out of here.
Yeah.
I guarantee you hitters across this league still fear this rotation. So the numbers might tell you something else, but you're not sitting in that batter's box and seeing that slider get at you, seeing that heater get at you. The batters in this league still respect this rotation.
It's fitting also that you introduced a football analogy because we're jumping to the Seahawks here. X-factors and bold predictions for the NFC West. That's next.
And the pitch on the way to Junior. It's been 27 years since a Mariners slugger has reached the half-century mark. Breaking ball, belted into the upper deck. Look out, Junior. You've got company.
Upper deck, goodbye baseball, number 50 for Cal Raleigh.
This is where you hear Cal's quest for 56.
Magical.
And the Mariners push to the playoffs. Seattle Sports, the home of the Mariners.
It is that time of year. I cannot wait for the weather to get warm like it is now on consecutive days. That means I can break the motorcycle out, ride to work, ride all over the place, and I love it more than just about anything. But I also know that it's not a matter of if, but when you get in an accident, what are you going to do? Well, I'll tell you, when you're injured in a motorcycle crash, don't settle for firms that say they're motorcycle lawyers. Trust the ones who live it. Law Tigers has been a part of the writing community for nearly 25 years nationwide. They are here 24/7. 365 days a year because writers deserve real support when they need it. Law Tigers is the resource writers can turn to when they are in need. Law Tigers is out at all the events and supporting all clubs and shops. The Law Tigers are always by your side. Your case evaluation is always free. There are no fees until your case settles. The Law Tigers, you never ride alone. Law Tigers, Washington's motorcycle lawyers. Jimmy Cook, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
Mint is still $15 a month for premium wireless. And if you haven't made the switch yet, here are 15 reasons why you should. 1, it's $15 a month. 2, seriously, it's $15 a month. 3, no big contrast. 4, I use it. 5, my mom uses it. Are you playing me off? That's what's happening, right? Okay.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
I'm Brent, and I've been on Nutrafol for almost 5 years now. I like Nutrafol because it was a hair growth supplement that was completely drug-free. After 3 months, my hair got stronger and thicker, which gave a huge boost to my social life. I mean, it was life-changing, to be honest.
Get growing at Nutrafol.com/men. That's Nutrafol.com/MEN. These statements and products have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition. Real customers were compensated to share their stories.
Progressive knows there's so many great things about being a sports fan. Like scoring the company box seats. How great is that? Trick plays that actually work. Prevent defense when your team is winning by a lot. And even more preventative prevent defense as they're hanging on by a thread. And of course, saving money when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive. That's pretty great. Just like trick plays that actually work.
Yeah, but how often does that happen?
Complaining about sports. Not so great. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Is your concrete sinking? Whether it's your driveway, sidewalk, or patio, those uneven surfaces are not just ugly, they're dangerous. That's where Groundworks comes in. They use state-of-the-art concrete lifting solutions to prevent tripping hazards, and they're the best at what they do. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details. Hey, baseball fans, T-Mobile is turning up the excitement with the Grand Slam giveaway. Want to score 4 premium tickets to an upcoming professional baseball game? This is your shot to experience the action like a VIP. Stop by your nearest T-Mobile Experience store and enter for your chance to win. While you're there, check out all the amazing deals and perks waiting for you with T-Mobile, your hometown network. Don't strike out. The Grand Slam giveaway won't last forever. Visit your local T-Mobile Experience store today for your chance to win 4 premium professional baseball tickets.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
A blockbuster trade yesterday shook up the NFC. The Cowboys sent edge rusher Micah Parsons to the Packers for a pair of first-round picks and Pro Bowl defensive tackle Kenny Clark. Jerry Jones took a bit of a shot at Parsons in a press conference afterwards, saying, quote, "This was a move to be better on defense, stopping the run. This was a move to, if we get behind, not be run on. And it was a deliberate move, a well-thought-out move to make this happen." The Mariners are on the road today against the Guardians. George Kirby versus Logan Allen. First pitch at 4:10 p.m. Pregame show starts at 3 p.m. right here on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Talking X-factors and bold predictions, not just for the Seahawks, but for the NFC West to help us understand the road Seattle has to take to the playoffs here. Bump, let's start with X-factors. ESPN's Benjamin Solak put together a list of NFL X-factors for each team. They do not include quarterbacks, rookies, or coaches. For instance, if you were to tell me, what's the X-factor for the Seahawks without those parameters, I'd be like, well, obviously it's going to be if Sam Darnold works out. So let's try to follow the same parameters. An obvious answer for every single person would be Sam Darnold. We're taking Sam Darnold. We're taking Mike McDonald. We're taking Clint Kubiak off the board. We have to look at something else here. You can be otherwise as creative as you want. So I have Ben's answer here. What to you is an X factor, the X factor for the Seahawks this year?
The X factor is going to be offensive line. Yeah. You've invested over the past, 4 or 5 years. You drafted 2 tackles. You drafted a guard. You've drafted a couple of centers/guards in Sundell and Oluwatimi. You've drafted another guard in Anthony Bradford. You've addressed it. The thing about this offensive line is that because it hasn't been as successful as what people want, they forget that every year John is looking. He's not just ignoring the offensive line and saying we're not going to go there. He's looking to draft and develop these guys. And it's almost like he's taking the approach of a quarterback. Now he's brought in some veterans too, right, over the past few years. But it feels like he's taking the approach of a quarterback. You want to get them in young, get them in cheap, develop them, and let's grow from there. So the X factor has to be, can this coaching staff get this offensive line to perform at a high level? Because they didn't go this offseason and start looking for a bunch of veterans and say we're going to revamp this thing. Kubiak, his offensive line coach, John Schneider, all the above, looked at this line and said it probably is enough with this scheme. So the first X factor for me is this offensive line. Can they stay healthy? Can they be cohesive? Create these lanes for the running backs, protect the quarterback.
I absolutely agree. I think that's the right answer, and probably the answer that most listeners are thinking of is going, well, it's the offensive line. Now, Benjamin Solak chose Ken Walker. We had Ben on the show during training camp. He is really, really high on Ken Walker. He thinks he's incredibly talented. So I'm not surprised that Ben chose Ken. Also, Seattle has clearly stated over and over and over again that they want to be better against the run. So you naturally look at like, well, your RB1 is going to be Ken Walker. I do think an X factor argument is one you could make for like Zach Charbonnet. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's the X factor, is Zach Charbonnet looking like the Zach Charbonnet that started that game in Arizona and just being really spectacular. I know your counterpoint would be, well, that was also the best game for the offensive line. One thing I want to say, though, is like, it's not like Ken Walker is healthy after missing a full year or new. These two running backs were here last year. I think you're right in that the X factor, the change, the thing that must or can be most different is the guys up front. Ken Walker's going to do, like, maybe he's learning and growing, but like, you're working with the same pieces in the backfield.
You are working with the same pieces, but I think that if there's anyone who needs to grow the most out of those two pieces, it has to be Ken Walker. Some of this stuff is out of his control. He can't control whether he gets hurt or not. That's random things are going to happen. What he can control is commitment to the way they want him to run, right? In the zone scheme, the back is essentially creating the lanes himself. Linebackers are getting to the bodies, and you just have to flow in the right direction. The flow of the zone is going to create different lanes. Like the lane could be on the right B gap one run and the exact same run, the exact same front against same defense. It could be the C gap or the A gap. You just have to feel the flow and give it time to develop. That's the thing, man. I've never surfed before. I don't do that. I don't mess with that surfing, right?
I think you should try it.
But I'm watching, I started watching it on the plane. I started watching Animal Kingdom, right, on Netflix.
Okay, so you didn't listen to all of my suggestions.
Hey, but you know what? Because this was more my speed, and I was like, okay, let me go.
I gave you so
Animal
many good
Kingdom,
shows.
I'm mad at all y'all listeners for not telling me to watch this. I'm hooked now. I can't wait to watch more.
Literally,
right?
G came in here the other day and told us to watch it. And I thought it was like a Planet Earth thing. And I was like, what are you guys watching? Animal Kingdom? What is this? So that's not what it is.
Well, Animal Kingdom, they're surfing and they're waiting for like the right wave, right? They're waiting for the right wave. And once you get it, you got to anticipate it. Like you see the swell coming and then you hop on it and you kind of feel the wave. That's how I imagine it's like in the backfield. Like you're just watching the swell, and then boom, you get the right one, you got to go. So I need Ken Walker to hone in on the opening scene of the first episode of season 1 of Animal Kingdom and get the wave, see the swell, and just flow with it, man. That is the zone run game. It's a nice little flow. If he can get better at that, he'll be fine. Mm-hmm. Zach Charbonnet is better at that right now than Ken Walker, but Ken Walker is definitely more talented.
I also need Ken Walker to start getting into Survivor, but I guess no one wants to listen to my show suggestions. 509, our X Factor will be the hometown kid, Cooper Kupp. He's going to be a red zone beast. What do you think about that?
I think he needs to be. I think he'll be more than that, too, though. I wouldn't limit Cooper Kupp to just being a red zone beast. That should be and will be a part of his game, but he's going to be a good blocker. He's going to be smart in finding spaces in the zone. He's going to be where he's supposed to be. His run after the catch is so underrated. I know he's in his 30s, and that's where people start hating, but his run after the catch is underrated. I wouldn't call him – I guess he is a X factor because we just don't know what he's going to bring to this team. So I like that, but I think that I don't want to limit him to just being the red zone guy. I don't think that this texter is either, limiting him to that, just saying that needs to be emphasis because we all know the woes we had in the red zone last year.
Okay, so Because we obviously don't cover the Cardinals, Rams, and 49ers, but do very much care about what's happening, I'm going to group all of Ben's X-Factor answers together, and our job will be to figure out, for these three teams, each of them having an X-Factor, if that X-Factor works, which of these three teams suddenly becomes scariest to the Seahawks? Okay, so Arizona Cardinals, he chose edge Josh Sweat, which was their biggest offseason addition. He said the Cardinals were 26 in team pressure rate last season. Sweat alone can yank that number up if he's beating league average left tackles. So looking especially at them taking a big step defensively. For the Rams, obvious one and the right one, I think. He chose wide receiver Davante Adams. He said if Adams benefits from the easy separation offered by McVay Magic and brings an additional layer of matchup danger for opposing defenses, even Jimmy G can excel under center, though, as we know now, he won't be playing. It'll be Matt Stafford able to start the season. Lastly, the 49ers, what I think you would have chosen, Ricky Pearsall was the one that he chose. He said they need him to be both healthy and capable of providing that late season production on a weekly basis. Okay, let's assume that Josh Sweat works out. Davante Adams works out. Ricky Pearsall works out. All three have great seasons. Which of these teams suddenly becomes scariest?
Rams are already going to be scary. Adams could have, let me pull up his stats real quick. Adams could have a pedestrian type season when it comes to him. And let's see what his pedestrian type season looks like. How much time we got? We got on the clock?
Yeah, we got 5 minutes.
Okay. Bear with me, folks. Okay. A pedestrian season for him, 800 yards. Okay. And I think Adams is going to be fine. He can put up 800 yards. It's not going to make or break this team. They are contenders regardless. If he puts up 800, they're contenders. He puts up 1,100, they're contenders. Sweat. We all know that one guy does not change a defense completely. It adds a dynamic to it, but you're going to need other pieces to fall in line. That's why the Arizona Cardinals went so hard in the draft the way that they did. Pearsall. Over there, you're going to have Juwan Jennings. You got MVS over there as well. They got Sky Moore, too, George Kittle. Pearsall could be a guy to open up that offense. So I think that the guy who would have the most impact in changing the trajectory of the team, I think, has to be Pearsall because they're missing that number 3 receiver over there because you're still waiting on Brandon Ayuk to see what they do. I think that 49ers defense is going to be decent, and I think that the Rams are already set, and the Cardinals just aren't good enough completely to be taken that seriously, even with Sweat. I think they're a good team. I think they will be better. But going into the season, we're looking at the Rams and the Niners to compete for the division. Obviously, the Hawks could be in the mix too, depending on what happens with their offense. But it's all about Pearsall, I think. I'm looking at Pearsall, and if they can add another dynamic to that offense, an offense that's almost guaranteed to work if everyone's healthy, it's almost guaranteed to work, that's going to be the guy because defensively they're going to be solid too. My
answer is very boring. I went with Davante Adams because I just think that assuming Matthew Stafford is able to start most of the games for this team this year, and assuming that Puka is exactly who we're thinking he's going to be, this is a really explosive offense. It's a deadly offense. And
that's not a boring answer.
And that defense was so good last year.
Like, that's not boring at all.
No, I think that honestly, I mean, the Rams really pushed the Eagles in that game. And I know that people were kind of making fun. Matthew Stafford's wife, I think, said something like, oh, we could have won or something like that. And like, I remember us being like, well, you didn't. But she's also not wrong. You play that game 3 more times. The Eagles are not beating them every time. And I don't like that. If you're a Seahawks fan, you shouldn't like that. So yeah. I think that Davante is going to have a really good year. And I think that the counterpoint to that must be the Seahawks defense being everything we thought it would be. In fact, in the final, let's see, we have about 3 more minutes here, Bump. Dan Graziano put together his bold predictions, surprise predictions for each team. So this is the second half of what we're doing. Okay. I'm just going to read the Seahawks. Don't be surprised if is how he framed it. And he says for Seattle, their defense keeps them in the playoff race. I liked that one.
He's talking about Seattle.
Don't be surprised if.
Nobody here is surprised. You're talking to the rest of the country. Nobody here is surprised. Like that,
true.
we're banking on this. I'm going to the bank and pulling out a big old withdrawal and saying, look, put this down on the defense, making sure this team is good. Now, you know what? Honestly, I think that most knowledgeable football fans feel that way too. because they know who Mike McDonald is. They know how this defense ended last year. They know the personnel that is there. He must be talking to the fan, the real casual fan,
NFL fan,
who just focuses on their group. But no, nobody in the Northwest or the West in general would be surprised.
I do agree with you there. So what would a more surprising answer be? What would a bolder prediction be?
Don't be surprised if Sam Darnold lights this thing up. That will be surprised because everyone here is sitting and waiting. Even if you believe in Sam Darnold, everyone in Seattle, there's not too many people who get on our text lines and can guarantee that Sam Darnold is going to put together the type of season he had last year. That's a big one. If you believe, text us right now, 866-979-3776. If you guarantee Sam Darnold's going to duplicate what he did last year, go ahead and text us in, and we'll give you your flowers if it happens.
Oh, my God, I have my eye on the text line. I'll let you know how many people. I will say I have seen at least a couple people, like regular listeners who text in, and there are a few out there who are like, no, I really do think Sam Darnold will be really good here. So I will give them credit for that. But you're right. The rest of the NFL, I think a lot of people within the NFL look at Sam Darnold and go, yeah, he's really talented, kind of a bridge guy. And I think it's because we have a very specific mold of what a franchise guy looks like. It's a guy that you draft, I think, for a lot of people, right? When you think of, like, franchise guy, if I said think of a franchise quarterback, you're thinking of Patrick Mahomes, you're thinking of Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar, maybe Justin Herbert, too. Like, you're thinking of guys that have been drafted by those teams. They hit the scene. They were really promising early. They were early picks. That's who you're thinking of. I know that some of those
We got
guys
some
were not the
guarantees coming in,
earliest picks.
Stacy.
Double down on Sam and K9 rushes for over 1,000. This has quickly turned into a Bold Take Friday.
Let's go. Let's go.
Very quickly.
I like it.
I mean, I really here's the thing. I don't think Sam will be as bad as some critics do. I was listening to Kevin Clark's This Is Football podcast. I'm a huge fan of Kevin Clark. I think he's really smart. And he chose the Seahawks to finish 4th in the NFC West. Both me, listening at home in a parasocial relationship, and his guest in a real social relationship on the show with him were like, absolutely not. I don't think that happens. And the reason Kevin Clark believed it is he was like, I just cannot let myself believe in Sam Darnold. Like, I cannot do it. And a lot of the same arguments that are fair, but that I've heard before of like, look, I know he got to 14 wins with the Vikings. That was with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison and Kevin O'Connell as his play caller and an offensive line that was not great but better than Seattle's. There's a lot of factors at play there. A really good defense last year for the Vikings with Brian Flores, like a really smart coordinator. And even then, they were 14 wins and lost in a wild card round. So I am encouraged by how many people see the 360. You're getting around this. Sam Darnold will take us to the playoffs. Now, what does that look like, though? Does that look like a great defense and a great run game and Sam gets 20 touchdowns? Or does it look like Sam getting the 35 touchdowns that he got last year, the more than 4,000 passing yards than he got last year?
I think Sam doesn't have to do what he did last year if all else goes well. If defense plays out of sight, if run game gets gone. So let's help my man.
Yeah. I think as long as Sam is as good as Stacy was at swimming, we're going to the championship. I think Sam can be better.
Brown ribbon, let's get it.
Listen, 10th place gets a ribbon. We are moving on. It's time for 4-down territory.
This is 4-down territory.
What do you mean, why is 10th place? Do you know how many people swim? Do you know how many?
Wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down. See, this is what you've lived a different life, Bump. This is what those 4 and 5 stars, they just don't. You're only used to seeing blue.
Blue and red.
Blue and red. Let me tell you what, 10th place is a thing, and the ribbon was brown.
Clearly, there's not even 10 colors. Like, how'd you get?
There's way more than 10 colors.
I mean, I'm talking about like rainbow colors. Like, they digging deep. We got like a teal in there, too. You got
One of the ribbons is just like, all right, first down. We're moving on. We're moving on. What has the Micah trade done for the Seahawks?
It gave one more contender in the NFC. We talked about this to start the show, right? Green Bay Packers, to me, were already on the cusp of being one of the top 3 teams in the NFC. So now expectations have skyrocketed. Could you imagine being a Green Bay Packers fan right now? You got Micah Parsons on your squad. You got Jordan Love coming back. You're thinking to yourself, conference championship or bust. So what that did to the Seahawks, it gave you one more team you got to worry about. You got to take care of your business. You play your schedule. You do what you have to do. But everybody was trying to beat Philly. That was the name of the game. You beat Philly. And they're like, okay, but to get through Philly, you got to get through Detroit. All right, to get through Detroit, all right, we'll see what the Vikings do. But now the Packers are just catapulted themselves right up there, and I think they are the #1 team to try to take down Philly, which makes the NFC that much better. You look at the AFC, obviously you got Baltimore, you got Buffalo, you have the Kansas City Chiefs, and Cincinnati. We'll see what their defense looks like. You have 4 teams that you know are going to be good. NFC, yeah, now you have Philly, you got the Commanders, you got Detroit, you got Green Bay, and the Rams. Let's not sleep on the Rams. The NFC is slowly becoming the powerhouse conference once again. As a team, you go to quarterbacks, it's always going to be the AFC. AFC handles that. They got the best quarterbacks. Slowly but surely, give this conference 2 or 3 years, I think the powers are going to shift like it did in the NBA. It used to be all about the West in the NBA, then the East came back. It goes back and forth. I think the power is going to shift here in a couple years.
Second down. What are you most excited about when it comes to the offensive line?
You got some young guys for cheap, and if it is done correctly, you might have your offensive line for the next 3 or 4 years. You have Charles Cross, who's 24 years of age. He's getting paid $6.9. You got Gray Zabel, who's 23. He's getting paid $3.3. Sundell, Mike McDonald came out and said Sundell is a starting center. All right, he's 25. He's getting $960,000. You got Anthony Bradford, who's 24. He's getting paid $1.2. You got Abe Lucas, who's 26. He's getting paid $3.6. Some contracts are going to be extended. You got to adjust. But for the most part, you got young guys for the low. Is this the right group? Anthony Bradford and Sundell are the 2 names that we look at and we're the most curious about. Are they going to be able to take the next step? But you are moving in the right direction. So, look, they're young, they're cheap. Let's get developed and maybe get a great return on your investment.
Third down. What needs to happen in Jacksonville in week 1?
Travis Hunter should never leave the field. Offense, defense, special teams, kick the ball, receive the ball. This is Jacksonville's chance to give their fans what they want. It's going to be sold out. It's going to be loud. They don't even have to win this game. Who are they playing? I think they're playing, who are they playing that first week? Let me see, Jacksonville. I know it's at home.
Panthers.
Playing the Panthers. Like, come on now. You're playing the Panthers. You're at home. Travis Hunter debut. It needs to be all about that man not leaving the field. After this week, then you start to taper down a bit and make sure he's healthy and good to go. You got the Bengals after that, then the Texans and the Niners and the Chiefs, then the Seahawks. It's going to get nasty for you after this, and you got to make sure he's good. Before this debut, give the people exactly what they want. The Jacksonville Jaguars are not going to the playoffs. They are not contenders. What are you playing for? For development and for sales at this point. It is a business over there in Jacksonville, and the best move for that business is to put Travis Hunter on that field for 100 plays and let him go. Congratulations on his baby, too.
Fourth down. All right, we spent some time earlier in the show talking about Benjamin Solak's X Factor for the Seahawks. That feature up on ESPN.com. What's your X Factor for the Seahawks?
So during that segment, I said the offensive line, but the real X Factor for this has to be Kubiak, because Kubiak has to adjust. What if your offensive line does not perform the way that you want it to? What if you can't get the run game going? How are you going to adjust? What if being under center play action does not work for you? How are you going to adjust? But that's the challenge of every offensive coordinator and every defensive coordinator. This is nothing new to Kubiak. This isn't just reserved for Kubiak. Everyone has to go through this. And they could not perform the way that they want to. And if I just see some adjustments, like, I get what you're doing, but the Jimmys and Joes got to win the game for you. If it all makes sense, they could not perform the way they want to, and I can throw my hands up and be just fine with what Kubiak is doing. I believe in what he's doing already, the approach that he's taking during this preseason. But it's all about adjustments. Mm-hmm. No matter what happens, whether they're playing great or they're playing horribly, Kubiak has to connect the dots and put it together. So my X Factor has to be the man calling the plays.
I mean, I certainly liked particularly what we saw in the second preseason game, but it certainly looks like the offense is what Kubiak pitched it to be. And I think it's important that that's aligned so far. Again, I know nothing matters until week 1. You're playing NFL starting defensive players in week 1, so you really get that tested. But I'm intrigued by not like Kubiak doesn't have a ton of experience, 2 years as an OC, but like having been an NFL OC and having a philosophy that's aligned with McDonald is intriguing.
And he's been around the game his whole life.
His whole life. All right. Timeline coming your way next.
Wyman and Bob.
We got Gray Zabel, rookie guard.
Every afternoon at 2.
Our texters that text into the show will give you, some restaurant advice. Which way should they direct you?
Man, the simple thing is just you run the damn ball with like a steak and potato type restaurant.
I would certainly start with El Gaucho.
That's my favorite. I'm getting cultured by my left tackle, Charles Cross. So I just tried sushi for the first time like a week ago. That was all right.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in Seattle without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in Seattle for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text FREE to 64,000. Seattle is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop next week right here in Seattle and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text FREE to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes, and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text FREE to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text FREE to 64,000.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-486-9600. That's 800-486-9600.
Feeling lucky? Don't miss the Lucky Classic Collector Car Truck and Boat Auction, Saturday, August 30th at Tacoma's LeMay Marymount Event Center. Hundreds of cars, vintage, muscle, exotic, classics, trucks, boats, and more. Saturday, August 30th at Tacoma's LeMay Marymount Event Center. Millions of dollars in inventory, many must sell with no reserve whatsoever. Get lucky, get local, and get in line for the Northwest's greatest collector car auction. Auction details at luckyoldcar.com.
Luxury has arrived at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. The hotel is open and you can book now at snocasino.com. The destination spa, the expanded non-smoking gaming floor, the big 2,000-seat entertainment space and convention center, and yeah, the new restaurants, food venues as well. Effortless style and the utmost in relaxation. Go to snocasino.com to book. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Headed outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nellie on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on SeattleSports.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
How we going, mates? It's Ryan Rowland-Smith for Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. If you haven't heard about it already, at the start of this year, I decided to get in the best shape of my life. So I lost 30 pounds of body fat and I kept all that lean muscle. Best decision I ever made. People ask me all the time, what was the motivation to get in such good shape? So a couple of things. Number one, who doesn't want to be in the best shape of their life, right? Obviously physically, but for me, more important mentally. And it starts with a diet, and I finally figured out you can't outwork it. Eastside gave me all the tools I needed to be able to prepare food, have tons of energy, and was never, ever hungry. But there's some other motivators too. I had to lose a bunch of visceral fat. I found out I had way too much of that, especially as I hit my 40s. But one more, look, this is the most important one. I wanted to set a really good example for my kids, to be the best version of myself. My kids look up to me, and I want to be the absolute best example and role model. So look, if any of these resonate with you, there's no better time to start. The time is right now. Make that free 15-minute call to Eastside Weight Loss Clinic and get it started today. It'll change your life like it did mine.
Brought to you by Integrated Rehabilitation Group.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
Now, normally for the Timeline Bump, we go outside of Seattle, and I do have a lot of stories here outside of Seattle, but we're starting here. Mike McDonald had an honest answer when he was asked about how the Seahawks stack up against the rest of the NFC West.
Bro, I really don't care. I don't care. I just care where we're at. It's not trying to be a chotch. Just don't care.
He had a similar answer about the new Rivalries uniform.
Look, if you're asking me for fashion advice, you're asking the wrong guy.
I like this little attitude from Mike McDonald. Bro, I really don't care. Like, I need this as a cut.
Bro, I really don't care.
I need that. It's just like ready to play at all times.
He's lying.
What?
You play the Niners week 1. You don't care? You're watching film on the Niners right now. What do you mean you don't care? You have to care.
You think he cares the most?
No, I think that he's focused on week by week. And if it were a different team week 1, then I'd buy it. But you're literally preparing for the division week 1. So this is football talk. This is coach talk. This is coach, hey, I'm just worried about us, man. We're going to go out and focus on us. Coach, you're literally watching film on a division opponent right now because you're playing the Niners week 1. You care about how you stack up. You care about what matchups you're going to try to exploit. You care about Kubiak's playing when it comes to this offense. I get what he's saying, and it's my job to do stuff like this.
Sure.
All right, to kind of dissect and blow stuff up. But you're literally preparing for a divisional opponent right now. So you care about how you stack up against the 49ers. Not worried about everyone else at this point.
Maybe we'll edit it to say, like, I literally do care. Like, you can also get this ready for, like, just anytime I start talking to you. You know, during the breaks when you're here, and it'll be like, you know, I'll start talking about, like, oh, I think I'm transitioning to Burnett, or, like, I'll start telling you what's happening on, like, the latest episode of Real Housewives. And you, like, sit there, but I know you're not listening. Now you can just...
Bro, I really don't care.
You just have it ready.
I'm always listening, Stacy. You're the one who doesn't listen.
That's true. Next up, Michael Irvin guaranteed the Cowboys would not trade Micah Parsons hours before Parsons was traded to the Packers. Here is the first cut.
Micah Parsons, hey, look, you can report all you want. There's no way they're allowing Michael Parsons to go anywhere. All of it, all of this is part of the negotiations. And as I talked to Jerry the other day on my podcast, and he was talking about it the other day when he tried to make that offer, he said somebody told him to shove it up his rear and all of that. I honestly, it blew my mind. It blew my mind that any kind of conversation like that would be going on in a situation like this. Michael Parsons, I want him to take control of this thing and say, I don't care about you two and whatever y'all got going. Get your butts in a room and get my money on that paper. That's what you need to be doing. So I'm hoping that's what gets done. But I guarantee Michael Parsons not going anywhere. Jerry's not that crazy. This is all what we call just negotiation stuff.
Then he was traded.
I am absolutely in a state of shock right now.
Thumbs tying.
What's blowing my mind is I just, less than 5 minutes ago, finished an all-day press junket for Netflix promoting America's Team, the docuseries. 5 minutes after I hang up the phone Get Off the Zoom with Kay Adams, the podcast I explicitly talked about, as a matter of fact, on every interview today, I explicitly talked about no way Jerry or the Cowboys will trade Micah Parsons. No way it's going to happen.
It happened.
Did he just call him Michael Parsons?
It sounded like it, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say maybe just Jerry. Or maybe him and Jerry are like, man, Michael is giving us a hard time with these negotiations. Jerry, give him a heads up.
Jerry be lying, bruh.
Yeah.
Jerry be lying. Or he just forgets and doesn't really know what he says.
Both are probably true about Jerry Jones. But
it's, you know what the thing is? This is what happened. Michael Irvin thought him and Jerry were tighter than what they really are.
That's a fact.
Michael Irvin thought Jerry would never lie to me. Why would he say that? He would tell me off record so I don't go on record talking all crazy and stuff. That's why he's more hurt that he was lied to. Forgive Micah being traded. He's more like, I thought we were cool, Jerry. I thought you was my dog. And if you see the video, if you he is so hurt. I'm not laughing at his hurt. I'm
yes,
laughing
you are. You're laughing at his pain.
He thought they were cool. And Jerry's like, nah, I don't really rock with you like that. I mean, we cool, but we ain't cool, you know?
he's like, listen, Micah, you were a great player for us for a long time.
Micah Irvin?
Yeah, Micah
you
Irvin
were awesome.
And Michael Parsons. Okay, moving on. Benches cleared during Wednesday's Marlins-Braves game after Ryan Gusto hit Ronald Acuna Jr. with a pitch.
And the Braves Iron Man. Here's Acuna. Oh, he got hit. Oh, boy. Ronald's not happy. Well, we've seen this before. Oh, the benches are going to clear. Everybody feeling a little testy this afternoon. They might issue warnings here. There was no intent by Gusto, but after the homer by Olsen, here comes the bullpens. That's a relatively half-hearted effort.
If you're that mad, charge him.
Yeah.
If you're that mad, go after him.
Yes.
So you don't see that anymore.
No.
Is that Dave Wyman on the call? Get after him.
I'm disappointed. You got to. Now, here's my real question for you, okay? Put yourself in the mind. I know exactly what you're going to say, but put yourself in the mind of your Mariners player. And let's say Cal or Julio, Randy is like up to bat, and he gets hit by a pitch by a team. And let's say that he had been hit by a pitch on 8 different occasions leading in to that game, the most of any one team to hit a player. So it already feels like, you're already heated.
Mm-hmm.
Cal, Julio, whoever gets hit by that pitch, are you coming out of the dugout?
Most definitely. Most definitely. You have to posture. No one wants to fight in baseball. No one really wants to fight. That's why old boy was saying, if you're mad, charge him. We don't see that anymore. He's almost disgusted that they would fake like they want to fight. But yeah, I mean that's your guy. He's your best ball player. He's your franchise. You got to show some type of support for him. But we all know nobody wants to fight in baseball. Not really.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, there have been some real fights. But I agree with you. A lot of it is like
I'd say 1 out of 20 of dugouts being cleared actually results in something.
What is the rule for like when you leave a dugout?
I don't know.
Ian, feel free to chime in too if you think that there's diehard Red Sox fan. Like I know that there's not like a rule, like as none of us have like played baseball, but like if the Mariners are taking on the Guardians today and let's say that, Naylor gets hit and it's clearly not intentional. Are we like, I'm not going to be disappointed or angry if no one comes out of the mound and is like charging the mound.
There has to be history.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
if there's no history, then what are we doing?
Yeah.
Or it has to be blatant. If a guy, it's more, I think you clear the dugout for sure if you miss behind the batter. That means you're trying to intentionally hit that guy. The pitcher misses behind the batter, like towards his rear end, his posterior side, then you definitely get out the dugout because that pitcher's trying to hit him. No pitcher in the game is that bad.
Or if it's clearly retaliation. The only time I think it's fair after one hit by pitch is when it is very, very clearly retaliation because your guy hit someone else. Otherwise, it has to be like a number, right? Like third time, maybe.
Well, when Victor Robles just got called up last week against the A's,
the A's also called up the pitcher who had been hitting him while he was in Vegas. So if that guy hit him again, I wouldn't see any reason why Victor wouldn't charge the mound again.
Listen, just don't throw the bat, and we're fine.
Don't throw the bat, dude. Come on,
and we're
man.
fine. Quickly, time for the IRG injury report brought to you by IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Second baseman Ryan Bliss started a rehab assignment with AAA Tacoma on Thursday. That is awesome, awesome news. Okay, we are going to get back to the Seahawks coming up at noon. Our next segment requires some listener help here. We're going to have a take elimination segment. I feel like there's a better way to rhyme that, and I will work on it during the break, but here's how it works. Think of a take that you hear all the time. Maybe you and your friends are talking about it. Maybe you've heard it from the national audience. It's just a sports take where you're like, God, nothing gets me more fired up and angry than that. I'm so over it. I want to eliminate this take. You got to tell us what it is. Coming up next, you're texting 866-979-3776. That's next.
Historical. Are you buying it? You like that? Historical.
Brock and Salk. It sounds too much like Dangerous. That's my problem.
Morning 6 to 10.
Can you get to 54 to tie Mickey Mantle or pass him at 55 for switch hitting home runs in a season? Can you get to 56 or 57 to tie or pass Junior?
For me, it would be Griffin. Hitting in the Kingdom for those years, a totally different era from pitching. I think even Ken would go, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Only on Seattle Sports.
Welcome to IRG Sports Injury Update. We're with Shannon O'Kelly, physical therapist and president of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. And our guest, Dr. Camille Clinton, board-certified orthopedic specializing in sports medicine at Pro Ortho Kirkland.
Dr. Clinton, welcome. You're an orthopedic surgeon. Hey, tell our listeners, what is going on today in the world of ACL tears? Should I have it repaired or should I not have it repaired? And how do you make that choice?
It's dependent on a lot of factors. Young patients, certainly teenagers and highly active patients, we generally recommend ACL reconstruction. As people age and activity level changes, there's some people who will not have many symptoms from an ACL injury, and they can do well without surgery.
And without surgery, depending on their level of activity or desire to get back to activity, you can rehab them conservatively without repairing the ACL, and they do fairly well. They get back to normal activities.
With a good, knowledgeable physical therapist and a good rehab program where they're focusing on hamstring strength and hip strength, won't have any instability type symptoms with everyday life. And especially if they don't do cutting and pivoting sports. So if they like to bike and jog and swim, then they may not have any symptoms at all from an ACL tear, in which case they don't necessarily need an ACL reconstruction.
And if they do try conservative care and treatment, if they do continue to have subluxation or instability of their knee, probably they have to have it repaired then.
Yes. Right, if someone has symptomatic instability, so they have symptoms of instability when they're doing things, then those people will benefit from an ACL reconstruction.
There you go. Everything you need to know about ACL repair, whether you should have it done or not. If you want more information regarding ACL injuries, you can contact Dr. Clinton at proortho.com. That's proortho.com.
With over 40 neighborhood clinics around Washington, IRG has you covered. Let IRG be your family's physical therapist. Find the location nearest you at irgpt.com. That's irgpt.com.
Hey, baseball fans, T-Mobile is turning up the excitement with the Grand Slam giveaway. Want to score 4 premium tickets to an upcoming professional baseball game? This is your shot to experience the action like a VIP. Stop by your nearest T-Mobile Experience store and enter for your chance to win. While you're there, check out all the amazing deals and perks waiting for you with T-Mobile, your hometown network. Don't strike out. The Grand Slam giveaway won't last forever. Visit your local T-Mobile Experience store today for your chance to win 4 premium professional baseball tickets.
Help create a future with no more drunk driving victims. Join Molly Shen and the Davis Law Group for Move with MAD, September 13th at Red Square, Central Plaza on the UW campus. Move with MAD raises awareness and funds to help end drunk driving and prevent underage drinking. Every step taken and every dollar raised can help keep our families and communities safe. Sign up to walk or join the team at madwashington.com. Move with MAD, September 13th on the UW campus. Register today.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
The home of the Mariners.
Left off to center. It is on its way. Julio, 2-run home run.
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
If you've been considering upgrading your siding, now is the perfect time. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. In the Pacific Northwest, moisture is the enemy. Old failing siding leads to hidden water damage, rot, and mold. State Roofing and Exteriors is a James Hardy preferred contractor with over 55 years of siding expertise. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com to schedule your siding inspection today. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
Luxury has arrived at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. The hotel is open and you can book now at snocasino.com. The destination spa, the expanded non-smoking gaming floor, the big 2,000-seat entertainment space and convention center, and yeah, the new restaurants, food venues as well. Effortless style and the utmost in relaxation. Go to snocasino.com to book. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's almost over, but the heat is pressing on. If you've got battery trouble, stop by AutoZone for free battery testing. It may just need a charge, and we'll do that for free too. If you do need a battery, we've got options starting at just $89.99, and we'll recycle your old battery for free. Now that's a strong start. Don't miss the end of summer sale, now at AutoZone until September 22nd.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
A limit takes. Shout out to a listener. That's what we're calling this segment. You get to pick a take that you're going to get rid of because you're absolutely sick of it. And you have to send those in. 866-979-3776. Muting this. 866-979-3776. I don't know if this is a take someone wants to eliminate, but someone said swimming isn't a sport, it's an activity. I'm going to eliminate.
That's
going to be,
sport.
yeah, what? That's, okay, we're not talking
Definitely.
about darts. We're talking about swimming.
Hey, don't tell the Europeans dart isn't a sport.
Now I'm going to become one of those people that's like, I'd like to see you jump into a pool and swim different different exercises for 2 hours. No, swimming is absolutely a sport. You're stupid. 866-979-3776. The point is this, while it's mostly self-explanatory, you are telling me and Bump and I, a take that you hate. You are sick and tired of hearing it. And we all have takes we disagree with, but some of them you're just like, oh my God, the second I hear this, like my blood boils. Bump, what's yours?
LeBron's better than Kobe. Hate that take. Tired of that take. Done with that take. Yes, he has more points. He's played for 500 years. He's taking PEDs and HGH and all that good stuff, right? He's bounced around to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 teams. He's developed super teams. Numbers will tell you that LeBron is better. The eye will tell you, the eye test. You youngsters who didn't grow up watching Kobe, who didn't grow up watching LeBron from the start, the eye test will tell you Kobe is better than LeBron. Kobe is more physically talented. Yes, for sure. He's 6'8", 250 dang pounds, okay? But he don't have the skill that Kobe has. He don't have the drive that Kobe had. I'm tired of that take. It's Kobe. No, it's Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, okay?
Okay, fine. I will allow it, but I have to say, I'm not at all surprised, but both Ian and I went,
Ian, you're 12 years old, dog. You're 12.
he's at least 16. He's here working.
He wasn't even alive when LeBron had his first season, probably.
That is true.
03.
Ian, what year were you born?
02.
Shut up.
Exactly.
Okay, we're moving on. We're moving
Exactly.
on. Oh, I'm sorry. The 206 said they want takeout. I like just takeout as a segment too.
Hey, takeout's kind of fire.
That's really clever.
Oh,
206.
you just demoted a listener that quickly.
You know what though? Do you know how often Curtis does this to me? Sometimes ideas come in and they're just better. Eliminates will always hold a place in my heart, but takeout is solid. They said takeout. I like just takeout.
Takeout.
Okay. 866-979-3776. This is another listener. Julio's overrated. That take grinds my gears. He has more WAR through 4 seasons than Griffey did. He's a 3-time All-Star through 4 years. He has 4 straight 2020 seasons to start his career. He's an extremely valuable player, and folks say he's overrated because he isn't an MVP. Just be grateful he's a top 15 player instead. We're lucky to have him. He shows love to Seattle and the fans all the time.
Yeah.
Fair take.
He's being paid like the 60th best player in the game. And he probably is performing usually towards the end of the year like a top 20, top 25 player in the game.
Mm-hmm.
They paid him early, and it was probably best for them because they would probably have to pay him more. I'm saying it with Cal. Ooh, they got lucky with Cal paying him early. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious.
Man, the money that you could have gotten. Okay. Mine, I have 2, and I'll be quick with both of them. One is probably going to annoy some people because a lot of you have probably said it, but this is from my personal experience. I've been covering the Seahawks, first as an NFL reporter, now on air for 10 years. This bothers me because I've heard it every year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it bothers me. And this could be 2012 again. It's specifically when it comes to the Seahawks. I have heard Pete Carroll say it. I have heard players say it. I have heard listeners. Anytime anything good happens with a team or anytime there's like a good week, I think this is 2012 again. No, it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not. And you know what? You're never going to have the Legion of Boom again. You could have a number 1 defense, and it's okay that you don't call them the Legion of Boom, and it's okay that they are not the Legion of Boom. You could have a really good year. No, you can have a really, really good year, finish with 12 wins this year, and surprise everyone. I still would not say, this is 2012 again. I just think it's okay to have different eras be different. Yeah. And this is mostly me getting personally annoyed at a take that I have heard every single year that I've been with this company. The second one is far more recent, and I think everyone's going to agree with me. It's Yankees fans that mention Cal's average.
Yeah.
Take it out. Take it.
So you're going recent. You went recent.
Well, I went recent with this one. Do you have a more recent one? You can choose a more recent one.
No, it's not recent. I'm an old man. I'm going into
in the vault.
You know?
But I just don't think it's a weak argument. It's intentionally narrow in its lens of how you're evaluating players because I don't think average is as important as home runs. They can be strongly correlated, but not all stats are equal. And Cal's got 2 of a triple crown. So I think that just saying like, well, he's got a low average. Well, he's a catcher. Well, he's going to strike out. Like, it's just, I hate the take. I don't know.
I agree.
Yeah.
Also, Cal is having a pretty similar year to the year that Judge had when he broke Maris's record. It's like a high strikeout, high homer, kind of lower average season, which is almost identical to what Judge had when he won the MVP. And now those Yankee fans are kind of twisting it back the other way, like, oh, no, now average matters more than home runs did back then.
This is the spiciest take I've heard someone want to eliminate. I can't believe this person's in Seattle. Now, not greatest player ever, but it's that Ichiro's the greatest player ever is a take I want to eliminate. Dig into his numbers. None of them led to production or wins.
People say Ichiro's the greatest player ever?
I don't know how many people think greatest player ever, period. And there's just too much history. You can't say someone is. The last point that none of Ichiro's numbers led to production or wins, that's factually incorrect.
Yeah, that's
I will not
very smart.
You know what? That's not takeout. Nope, absolutely not. That's not being eliminate. That's not it. Someone said a take I want to eliminate. Ooh, Bump, what do you think about this one? WNBA players are underpaid. spare me, it's a revenue game.
I don't think they're underpaid. You know what? I think they are underpaid, but I don't think they should get the money that they're asking for. They're somewhere in the middle where you have to agree. The NBA literally funds the WNBA, right? So if the NBA did not fund the WNBA, there would be no league because they lose money every single year. Now they're trending, and the reason why they're still in the red is because of all the years prior where you didn't have the athletes that you have today. But they're trending. They're going to be out of the red here soon. But no, it's simple math. If you have 10, you don't give somebody 15 because now you own 5. You know, it's just that's how it is.
I got to run through a couple more. Takeout from Tyler in Pocatello. I'm sorry. He said, Cal is only doing what he's doing this year because he's using a torpedo bat. My eliminate. Yeah, that's a good one. Absolutely a good one.
I like that take.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
it
annoying.
changed his life.
You hear it and you're like,
life.
come on, man. I could go the rest of my life without hearing that take. Just over it.
I got one. They shouldn't have let Russ cook. Yeah, you should have let Russ cook.
Oh, man.
If Russ was not cooking, the Seahawks are nothing. That defense was bad. Russ had to cook. There was a point where he cooked too much. They got a little burnt, and you have to change it up a little bit. But if Russ was not cooking, the Seahawks were nothing.
The revisionist history in thinking that the Russell Wilson we saw year one in Denver is the same Russell Wilson that existed in 2017, 18, 19. No. Absolutely not. Now, Russell Wilson was probably never going to be everything Russell Wilson thought he would be, but that's okay. That's the case for a lot of players. Russell Wilson was not especially personable. Would I be his best friend if I was in the locker room? No, I would not. I would certainly not be his best friend. I probably wouldn't particularly like him, but he was very talented, and the defense is what got them ultimately to the Super Bowl, ultimately won them that Super Bowl. You can't just say, oh, Russell took them there. I don't think anyone really believes that. To pretend that was still true throughout the course of Russell's career, or that specifically at the height of Russell's career when he was seeing career highs in passing yards and touchdowns, to think that, he's what held them back, or that, they never should have let him throw. Bump, that's a great take. A great take to eliminate.
35 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. He was cooking, completing 65% of his passes. That's in 2018. Meanwhile, Chris Carson still rushed for 1,100. It wasn't like they just weren't running the football, but Russ was the driving force in this organization, and because people might not like his personality, they forget that. And it's almost like as soon as someone starts failing, you're like, oh, there you go, see?
Yeah.
See, I told you. But when he was winning, when he's dropping 4 bombs a game or 4 touchdowns a game
the guy
and
was
winning
a baller.
it's all good. So, yeah, man, Russ should have been cooking. The cooking got a little burnt towards the end, but you needed that.
Also, the cooking got a little burnt. Also, I will add, and I know we have to break here, that it's not like he was a bad person.
No.
He was complicated. And I know that there were people who didn't, that he wasn't their favorite, but it's not because he was evil. It's just not for everyone.
It's not for everyone.
And that's okay, because he was a baller at one point.
You know who is for everyone, though? Jameis Winston.
Oh, my God.
He's for everyone.
Next up, sorry, jumping back to the Seahawks here. We're going to talk a lot about mostly the run game. The latest from Brian Baldinger. Don't go anywhere.
The guy we've been wanting to speak to. Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2. Josh Naylor.
Have you gotten a sense of how the fan base has responded to you? When we're on the air and we bring up your name, the texts are flying. They better re-sign him.
The fan base is crazy. It's almost electric. You can sometimes feel the ground shaking a little bit when something cool happens. So far, the fan base has been awesome. Even my family says they're incredible and probably one of their favorites that they've had in my career.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T-levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Comcast Business High Five Hotline. What's the state of your excitement?
I signed my business up for the 5-year price lock guarantee, and I can't stop high-fiving people. High five!
Okay,
Ooh,
deep
high
breath.
Five, high five.
You're in a good place. You signed your business up for 5 years of gig speed internet and advanced security, all on our ultra-reliable network.
Gig speeds and advanced security? I'm so stoked.
Yep, and you get it at a great rate that's locked in for 5 years.
Woo!
The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm, totally natural.
Sweet. Thank you. Thank you. High five, everybody. High five.
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today.
High five.
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25 for new customers with qualifying bundle. Current customers may be eligible depending on services and area. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in Seattle without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in Seattle for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text FREE to 64,000. Seattle is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop next week right here in Seattle and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text FREE to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes, and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text FREE to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text FREE to 64,000.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Plus free premium delivery with any smart bed and adjustable base. Ends Labor Day. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. Are they a reliable service? How will I know if something happens? Are they keeping everyone safe? At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today to talk to a local security expert.
Feeling lucky? Don't miss the Lucky Classic Collector Car Truck and Boat Auction, Saturday, August 30th at Tacoma's LeMay Marymount Event Center. Hundreds of cars, vintage, muscle, exotic, classics, trucks, boats, and more. Saturday, August 30th at Tacoma's LeMay Marymount Event Center. Millions of dollars in inventory, many must sell with no reserve whatsoever. Get lucky, get local, and get in line for the Northwest's greatest collector car auction. Auction details at luckyoldcar.com.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
From
from the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Now, we are going to talk about the Seahawks run game and how they could surprise a lot of people. Brian Baldinger likes that they're being doubted. Lots of stuff to get to. Before we do, though, this is NFL related. Bump. The other day we were talking about the Minnesota Vikings and trying to figure out whether or not Sam Darnold was a captain. We couldn't remember. He was, but there were 8 captains on that team, and we were that's too many captains. The Eagles just posted a graphic with their 2025 team captains. Guess how many?
4.
8. They also have 8 captains.
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
Come on, man.
There's no – I'm wondering if I'm crazy. Because I've only ever covered the Seahawks, and they only ever have 3 prior to Mike McDonald. 3 team captains, unless I'm totally blanking.
The most I've ever had in college was 5. 2 offense, 2 defense, 1 specials.
Which is great. That's the thing. What do you mean? You could have 6, and it would make sense.
Yeah.
What are the other 2 doing here? There's someone.
They're going 3, 3, and 2.
Not every captain is. I don't even know if they're finishing the season with the team. I don't even know if they're still starting. Like, you're leaving a lot of room there for, like, someone. That's a lot of people. 8 captains feels over the top, a little excessive. But I saw that and I remembered our conversation. I thought, this is a plague taking over the league. What's going on here? Let's talk about the Seahawks. We're going to lean into some Brian Baldinger sound from his interview with Brock and Salk, but I do want to start with something from Mike McDonald. He was asked what he saw from the run game in the preseason.
It's our process. I know it's not a fun answer, but it's just, we haven't game plan. We're starting the beginning of game plan right now. This week we're really sharpening our tool set and going into a real game week. It's hard to say, like, hey, we're going to go run the ball 48 times for whatever we did against the Chiefs, and could have ran it better against Green Bay at their place. So right now, am I excited about the inputs and how we do business? Absolutely. I love how we coach it. I love the soundness of what we're doing. I love the creativity. I love the consistency, the stacking wins idea of, hey, we're going to keep it in our wheelhouse, and then we're going to dress it up different ways, make it look the same. All that stuff that you always hear, process-wise, is awesome. And so really excited about how that's going to show itself. Look, we're going into week 1, and it's really exciting, but I'm thinking about, like, hey, this weekend, let's go get a breath of fresh air, and then we'll come back. Let's be fresh, put the best possible game plan we can against San Francisco, and then go rip it on Sunday.
Didn't stick just with the run game, gave a much more holistic answer. I get why he went in that direction, but I want to stick just with the run game. What did you see in the preseason? What did you like about it? I have to imagine that was one of the things by far that you noticed most.
I like that Halani was effective in the run game. Charbonnet was effective in the run game. Jacardier was effective. Even Martinez had 1 or 2 runs. So when you see 2, 3, 4 running backs being effective with different linemen out there, of course, it shows that everyone's moving in the right direction, and it resembles each other. Every running back has his own style. You're not going to run exactly like the other guy. Every offensive line unit are going to be stronger in some areas than other areas, but everyone understood the assignment, and I think that is what was most encouraging. And then when the ones were in, it was fluid. Granted, I think they were playing against 2s when they were out there with the Chiefs, but you needed to see that. If you didn't see that, you'd be concerned. So what I liked is that the linemen were moving, the running backs were getting downhill. We saw a 60-yard run this offseason. We saw a 25-yard run, a 30-plus run as well. The explosive plays in the run game got me excited.
Brian Baldinger talked a lot about the Seahawks' commitment and success with the run.
Well, it does, and you're right. You got to caution. You got to be cautiously optimistic here about it. But the one thing about running the ball 48 times in a preseason game is, you really can't practice like that. You can assimilate practice in the run game. You can have scrimmages, but it's kind of just that's a great chance to work on the run game and work on different types of runs, and work on moving big bodies up front in combo blocks and power run game, and how these plays break for a running back. It breaks differently for Zach Charbonnet as it does for Kenneth Walker or anybody else that's back there. And so I think it's just a great opportunity. So I give Mike credit for okay, we're able to sustain offense right here. Let's work on this right now, because you can't do this in practice anymore. Mm-hmm. And so I think that was a part of it. And look, Kansas City was without Chris Jones in there. Nick Bolton wasn't there. Some staples, but there's a lot of guys that are going to start.
A little more on the new look offense.
Well, there's a two-back offense, and there's a big spot for Robbie in this offense right now, just the way there has been for, Kyle Juszczyk in San Francisco and the guys around the league right now. I like two-back offenses. I like being able to line up in I formation and knock people off the ball. It's always that formation. You can back me up on this, Brock, but that I formation should never, ever go out of style. Because if you ever want just a reset button, a reset play, get up in I formation and tell your guys, go win the line of scrimmage.
Bump, I saw you nodding with his point about I formation.
Yeah, love the I formation. A younger me in my 20s wanted to keep it spread out. Just keep everything spread out and let's operate there. And it was fun. But in football, you got to be able to do a little bit of everything. Even the teams that are run heavy can still open it up and throw the football. Because end of the day, you're going to need to get 1 or 2 yards at a time. End of the day, you're going to need a third and short, a fourth and short. You need to set up all of that. And the run is the best playing football because it sets up the pass. If you just go out there and throw the football 50, 55 times, you might have some success, but you're putting the football in harm's way more often as well. Ball security, job security, run the football is it. It opens up the pass. The older I get, the more I buy into packing the game in.
Well, you know what part of it is, too? I think that that's because it's pitched as this old school mentality. And also you start to realize that there are just truths about baseball, right? Like I would imagine it's like the older you get, the more you think back on things that you learned when you were younger. Or the more you look at, I think of Ray Roberts, where he'll be like, football is simple. It can be simple. It's about the trenches. And those things are always true no matter what. Mm-hmm. So there are truths. But also, I do think it used to be, I'm thinking of Sean McVay, obviously hit the scene prior to 2018, but when people are using 11 personnel, we're all about passing offense is more efficient. Do running backs even matter? It's when that conversation really started taking off a ton. And you would have 3-4 teams putting up 30-plus points a game by the end of the season. It was crazy. I think that the league responds to that kind of trend, and then you respond back. So it's part of it is, it's always been an old school mentality. You don't have run games look today like they did 30 years ago, but you are getting back to the run more often today than you were 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And
it comes in waves, man. That's the league for you. Maybe in 5-6 more years they'll open it back up. It's all about adjustments, right? The offenses are adjusting to the type of defensive personnel that are out there. That's why we don't see those big old linebackers anymore. Maybe in 5-6 years it goes back to that, and you see the big old linebackers because teams are packing it in, and they need a guy who can get downhill and blow stuff up. It's a change, and it's always changing in this league.
Mm-hmm. Let's get to this one. I like this. Brian Baldinger talked about the Seahawks having a lot of doubters.
Good. That's you want to be in that situation. You don't need to be talked about right now. No. They go out there and take care of business about San Francisco. People were like, oh, Seattle won 10 games last year. Oh, Seattle, they had this in the draft. I mean, there's going to be a time. And look, everybody starts off kind of the same. It's always a new year. In Philadelphia, it's a new year coming off a Super Bowl championship. At some point, though, and it happened last year too, at some point, this is either going to come together for Seattle and they're going to be a playoff team and you're going to see them string some W's together and look impressive, or it's not going to happen. But at some point, if they're going to be a good team, we're all going to see it together.
I like that point that he makes because I like the idea of thinking of the Seahawks at a tipping point. One of the things we would always, I don't want to say complain about, but that was certainly a pattern during the post-Super Bowl 49 era Seahawks. They were always good enough to be in the playoffs and never great enough to keep it moving. You saw other teams create powerful teams and surpass you. And that was for a lot of things, right? Missing on some drafts, not being able to keep all your guys, coaching changes, right? All kinds of things. It happens. Hard to build a dynasty. So I'm never going to complain about winning and not going anywhere. I do like his point, though, about eventually you need to become great. Eventually you do need to go somewhere. What's that tipping point look like? Does it happen this year for Seattle? Do you think it does?
The tipping point?
What triggers a tipping point in the NFL?
I get what you're saying. I'm just giving myself time to kind of dwell on that thing. The tipping point is when you found security in the major pieces, and the major pieces are head coach, coordinators, quarterback, O-line, defensive personnel. As much as I love being a receiver and I love what we do, dime a dozen. You could find a number 2 and number 3 receiver in the draft easily. It's hard to find your franchise quarterback. It's hard to find a great offensive lineman. It's hard to find the right defensive personnel for your group. So I think they're close. But we're not really going to know until 5 weeks into the season. I think 5 weeks into the season, we'll know that, all right, have you found your quarterback? All right, have you found your offensive coordinator? I think the coordinators, the head coach, and defensive personnel are in place. It's the O-line and the quarterback is what's kind of holding you from really being considered one of the elite.
I think almost no matter what Seattle does this season, so long as Sam Darnold is here, they're not going to consider them that team. And I think that eventually changed. Like, that changed with Jared Goff. When the Lions acquired Jared Goff, it was like, why? You're never going to be that guy. He's always going to be this bridge until they find their next guy. But they've got all these other pieces. What are you going to do? And then now people look at Jared Goff and go, no, you can get to a Super Bowl with Jared Goff if everything else goes right. I've listened to so many podcast shows, whatever, covering the Seahawks and kind of talking about expectations. Every single one of them, almost without fail, comes back to, well, they got Sam Darnold, so they got to figure that out. Like, I think they could go 5-0. I think they could go 8-0 to start the season. And there are going to be people going, but you're not going to get it done with Sam Darnold.
Yeah. I don't know. It depends what that looks like.
Well, what if it
All right, so let's say,
okay,
Sam Darnold is just as talented as Brock Purdy to me, physically. Just as talented. Brock Purdy got a little more wiggle to him, a little more mobile than he is. And let's stop hating on Sam's mobility. He's more mobile than what people give him credit for. But why is Brock Purdy so successful? And there's always a texter who texts in, why you always talk about Brock Purdy? You know why? Because he was the last pick in the dang draft. He's not physically imposing on anybody. He's about 6'6'1". He doesn't have a rocket arm. He's just in the right situation and surrounded by the right pieces. I look at, if we were at like just a combine and we're looking at Sam Darnold and Brock Purdy go through the drills, throw the football, and then we're looking at their college film, you're going to pick Sam Darnold every single time.
Yeah.
And if you're not, then I question your evaluation process.
Yeah.
You're going to pick him every single time. So if he just go out and he's surrounded and he just looks, if you can just get rid of what he's done in the past, and every single year he builds off of what he's done last year, why not Sam Darnold? But we only got a year, and that's going to be the issue. I think if he goes out, you start 8-0 next year, and he is looking efficient. He's completing 65% of his passes. There's a 6-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. Why not Sam Darnold? Those quarterbacks can win you Super Bowls. Jalen Hurts did it last year, but what does he have? Pieces all around him.
I just think sometimes players are unfairly followed by narratives, right? Like, I think that's just going to be one with Sam for a long time. Because the thing about Sam's season last year is he did look totally fine. This team looked great for 14 games. You know what I mean? And then his last 2 games, it's really a bummer he didn't get this out of the way early. His last 2 games were his worst games. And it fit the narrative that already existed of, oh, he caves under pressure. So if the Seahawks, again, start 8-0, people are going to go, what happens when he faces pressure? As though he hadn't for 8 games. But I think that, like, it allows for that to exist. The story of last year still could hold true for a lot of people this year, you know? And I think, again, I think that happens for, I was getting into a debate on the text line with a listener debating about Russell Wilson. And my argument was like, look, I think the narrative of Russell Wilson is now he was never as good as people thought. He was overrated, and he completely collapsed, and he needed a run game. That's the narrative now. But if you look at the numbers, not only did the narrative used to be different, but, like, Russ was genuinely really, really good.
Yeah, he was.
Speaking of evaluation, let's get to a quick college football preview here. UW and Wazoo have their season openers tomorrow. Should we start with Washington?
Yeah, let's start with Washington.
Okay. My Huskies will take on Colorado.
I want UW to win the Apple Cup.
Go Dogs.
Let's roll. Washington will take on Colorado State at Husky Stadium at 8 p.m. tomorrow. In Brock's Dog Talk, he said the Huskies are going to be an 8-win football club. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think that's fair. You look at their schedules. They got Colorado State, UC Davis, and Washington State. They could easily open up this thing 3-0. And then after that, it gets a little tough for them. You play Ohio State. Ohio State coming to Seattle. That's going to be a great atmosphere. I'm so mad I got to work that weekend because I would go to that game just to see Ohio State here out west, something that I don't know if it's ever happened before. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Well, that Big Ten schedule is just tough, man. You still got Michigan. Illinois is ranked 12, and then you finish the season with Oregon. This is the toughest, to me, the toughest conference in football, if not as one or number two. And when you look at their depth chart, they just don't have too much. You got Denzel Boston coming back, who I think has NFL potential at the wideout spot. You got Jonah Coleman, Jonah Coleman, who at running back spot, who I think has some explosiveness. You got Quentin Moore at tight end, who was basically a backup the last 2 or 3 years. They did have a really good recruiting class, I believe top 30, top 25 when it comes to NCAA football. But it's the unknown. And I think that it's always going to be hard to predict what a team's going to look like. It's always hard in general week one. But now with the way college football is, with everyone transferring and moving and stuff, there's hardly any consistency. You can't bank on we're going to get 15 seniors back next year or returners, and this is what this team is going to look like.
Yep.
But the recruiting class was all right. They got some talent, but that conference is tough.
No, I agree with you. And in terms of people and coaches like constantly moving on and having to rebuild these programs all the time, unless I guess you're at the very, very tippy top, I think to myself, like, you know, I like coaching always as a narrative and like, oh, what's Jedd Fisch going to do and how's he going to handle this? And I'm like, if they surpass everyone's expectations and end up being a really, really good team, is Jedd Fisch even here? Like, so you just think about the season differently.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Wazoo is going to take on Idaho, Martin Stadium, 7 p.m. tomorrow. What should we expect from Pac-2 this season? We'll start with Wazoo in that matchup.
Yeah, this is Wazoo it should win this game. But Idaho last year had themselves a good season, went to the FCS playoff. With Wazoo, you're looking at Zevi Ekas, who is he started in the bowl game last year against Syracuse. He looks all right, but it's just the playmaking ability that you just don't have anymore. At the wideout spot, you're looking at guys like Meredith, who was a decent receiver for the Cougs last year. You're looking at Brendan Ganshaworthy, who was a track guy who converted over to wideout, is going to be okay. It's just that when you just look at the personnel and just the numbers alone, if you just like height and weight, right? And usually when you can tell just the difference between programs just by height and weight, right? You look down south, the height and weight for D tackle is going to be about 6'4", 300 pounds, right? Height and weight for a guy on the same position for the Vandals is going to be about 6'2", 275 pounds. It's just a different breed of athlete. And typically, over the years, you look at height and weight for the Vandals and Wazoo, and who's got a little bit of an edge? Personnel is just about the same now. Honestly, it really is. Personnel is about the same. The thing that concerns me the most about the Cougs is that you got 70 new players on this roster. 70 new players, and a lot of them are coming from the FCS level. Thankfully, you're playing against the Vandals, who are on that level, but it evens the playing field out some. So it's going to come down to coaching. Can Jimmy Rogers and the gang get these guys going and be able to adjust? I'm looking at the matchup predictor right now. It says WSU 75%. Man, I push it down to like 55, 60.
Is there another game from this weekend unrelated to our two schools here that you're looking forward to?
Am I? Well, my God, let me pull up the schedule. There's a
I was
couple
say,
of them about to go down.
Speaking with someone that has a football addiction.
Let me get to the top. It's going to be
I know what I am.
What are you looking at?
Texas, Ohio. You already talked about Ohio State, but Texas,
Yes.
Ohio State.
And you got Auburn, Baylor, who I think is going to be a good game to watch. You got Texas, Ohio State. We're going to see Arch Manning do his thing over there as well. You got Alabama, Florida State, which is going to be a good one. Oh, I feel bad for this one. Montana State and Oregon. Bless your heart, Montana State.
I believe that they can get it done.
What other games we got? We got LSU Clemson, which is going to be should be a good matchup. You got the one I'm calling. You guys got nothing to do. Saturday, 7 p.m., Arizona State versus Northern Arizona. I'm really interested in that one.
Yeah, yeah. I would say so. You got a lot to do with that one. All right. So it's our quick college football preview. It's always a weird transition when it's like still summer, but football is starting, and I kind of love it. I'm very, very excited. Really exciting weekend. Also, the last weekend without Seahawks football. So we are taking a look around the NFL. Coming up next, Mike McDonald announced the Seahawks starting offensive line, so you absolutely want to know about that. And then Skip Bayless, of course, had to sound off about the trade of Micah Parsons. Coming your way next.
It's the Mariners' push to the playoffs, and it's only on Seattle Sports.
Swung on, clubbed, it is gone! Gino smashes one again!
Up next, the Mariners begin a 9-game road trip with a first of 3 in Cleveland. Mariners Guardians this afternoon.
First pitch at 4:10, pregame at 3.
The push to the playoffs lives on Seattle Sports, on 710 and the Seattle Sports app, the home of the Mariners.
Hey, what's up? It's Michael Bumpus for Silver Reef Casino. This is what I want you to do. Get on I-5, you go north, and that's where you'll find Silver Reef Casino. Get off exit 260. Man, it's a great place to get away, to recharge, and to get your mind right. They got great rooms. They're deluxe, they're comfortable, spacious, and they have tablets and Wi-Fi in that thing as well. When it's time to eat, you're hungry, go downstairs. They got the steakhouse and the cantina, a true Mexican restaurant. And now it's time to watch some ball. What are you going to do? You're going to go to a sports-based sports bar. You're going to sit down, watch the game. The drinks are flowing, and the vibes are good. The next day, I want you to wake up and go to Loomis Trails Golf Course, 18 holes with water almost everywhere. You got to be patient. You got to woosah, hit the middle of the fairway. It is going to be challenging. And also this month, they're giving away $10,000 every Saturday at the end of the month, $50,000 grand prize. Make sure you make it to Silver Reef Casino. Silver Reef Casino Resort is not a secret anymore.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at EnduranceWarranty.com. If you have a 2004 or newer vehicle that's out of warranty or about to be, Endurance is urgently notifying U.S. drivers about their low-cost vehicle coverage plan designed to save drivers thousands on rising vehicle repair costs. Those who qualify can pick their plan, coverage, and repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental cars included. All covered repairs get paid directly to the repair shop for you. Call now for your free quote. Call 800-298-7906. 800-298-7906.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, baseball fans, T-Mobile is turning up the excitement with the Grand Slam giveaway. Want to score 4 premium tickets to an upcoming professional baseball game? This is your shot to experience the action like a VIP. Stop by your nearest T-Mobile Experience store and enter for your chance to win. While you're there, check out all the amazing deals and perks waiting for you with T-Mobile, your hometown network. Don't strike out. The Grand Slam giveaway won't last forever. Visit your local T-Mobile Experience store today for your chance to win 4 premium professional baseball tickets.
The home of the Mariners.
One hopper snared at short. Not a quick hop by J.P. Crawford. That guy's a magician over there at shortstop.
Seattle Sports.
Download the Seattle Sports app.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and, of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
I have a handful of stories that really affected me personally in my career and how I handled employees. Lee Johnson, coming out of his office as a customer, asked me where the service department is. I was like, yeah, go to the end of the hall, go up the stairs, go across the breezeway, open a door, go to the left. You want Chevy, go to the right. You want Mazda? Because I didn't even have enough time to say, hey, what kind of car do you have? Here comes Lee, and it's like, oh, ma'am, come with me. Let me show you. And then having him come back and not dress me down is just almost like with that fatherly disappointment of like, that's not how we take care of people. I mean, the right way is to walk her down to the stairs, walk her up the stairs, open the door for her, go over, cross the way, open up that door, introduce her to somebody. So she's comfortable, she's made it to the right place, and that we value the business. What you did was you made it seem like she was an inconvenience to you. Customers are the purpose of our day.
The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We're taking a look around the NFL bump, but we're going to start in Seattle. Mike McDonald announced the Seahawks starting offensive line during a press conference yesterday.
We have made a decision on our offensive line. So Abel started right tackle. Anthony Bradford started right guard. Jalen right now is our starting center. Gray's obviously at left tackle, and Charles Cross at left tackle, or left guard and left tackle, respectively. So, as you know, nothing's set in stone, but those guys have done a great job. Olu's done a phenomenal job. He's ready to go if anything happened, but that's the crew that we'll start the season with.
Are you too surprised by the final starting lineup for the offensive line lineup?
No, I'm not surprised. I mean, we kind of saw the writing on the wall for a while now.
Yeah.
And when Olu misses the time that he misses, you just provide opportunity for somebody else. So Sandell took advantage of that opportunity and ran with it. I just trust that they're going to put the best guy out there. And if they feel like Sandell's the best guy out there, then so be it. But we knew the center spot was going to be a battle. The center and the guard spot, nothing was guaranteed. We thought Olu was going to win the job, but this is the NFL.
Is this a better offensive line in week one than last year when I don't think you had Abe and it was Connor Williams as your starting center?
No Abe, Connor Williams.
I think it was still Bradford starting right
Who's
guard.
the guard? Our guard. We had the Jamaican cat. What's his name?
I don't even remember.
He's from Jamaica. He doesn't sound like it, but he's from Jamaica. Blanking on his name right now.
Ian's, it's our job to know, but our job to know a year ago. Too many things have happened since then.
Yeah. Oh, man, I feel bad I forgot his name. Nice dude, but just couldn't get it done. Yeah, I think this
I mean, the fact
starting lineup
that we're
is
having
better.
a hard time being like, wow, what was his name again? It probably means that, feeling
Got
a
him
little better about this
from the
one.
Niners. He was a Pro Bowler at some point. Played for the Jets, too. I can't remember his name right now.
I know, you're going to get yelled at. I'm going to get yelled at. It's okay. Teamwork. This morning on Get Up, Kirk Herbstreit applauded Dallas for letting go of Micah Parsons.
A little bit of a different take. I mean, if you're just going to look at it from the XO standpoint, I mean, you lose a great player physically, and obviously you could take a game over. But I look at this in a different way. This is a new coach trying to build a new culture, and your alpha, your best player is sitting out in a negotiation that's not working out. And not only that, but just some of the optics of it with some of the things he did during camp. It just wasn't good. And then the drama that it's always with Dallas is going on and on and on between he and the organization and Jerry Jones. I think at this point it is probably best to just give him his opportunity to go to another franchise. And then Dallas can almost start over as far as inside the building, the culture of trying to build this thing from the ground up defensively. We know what you guys were just talking about what Dak and that offense can do. But if they're ever going to be a real contender, not only in their division but the NFC, they got to get better defensively. Now you say, how do you get better by losing Micah Parsons? I think you're just looking at that, like physically what he does. But what does he do behind the scenes to the culture of who the Dallas Cowboys are? For Dallas not willing to sign him it must have been significant enough to say, hey, let's get rid of this guy, even though he's a great player, and let's try to build this thing kind of like the little engine that could, us against the world type of thing. And I know it sounds crazy, but I applaud Dallas in letting him go and trying to build a culture of team instead of an individual. And we'll see what happens with Dallas this year. But I don't think this is a play for 2025. I think it's a play for 25, 26, 27, and beyond.
Laken Tomlinson.
There it is. Thank you. You found him?
I Googled it, and then I got a couple texts. Laken Tomlinson. Okay. What did you make of Kirk's comments of like, hey, clearly this is, about an off-the-field thing. You don't want that kind of, if he doesn't vibe with you, if you don't like that personality, then, like, you're going to have to move on. Might as well do it. What'd you make of his comments?
I think that Kirk is always going to back up owners and coaches. I think that is what Kirk makes a living doing. And he might feel this way 100%, but there's always that person in the back of my head that's saying, when has Kirk ever gone up against any type of authority like that? I think if you are a football guy, you understand what Micah Parsons is. You set yourself up for 26, 27, for the 30th pick in the first round. It's not like you gave up Micah Parsons and you're going to get a top 10 pick.
Yeah.
He's a top 10 pick type of guy. Oh, I can understand working towards the future, but that means you got to get a new quarterback because Dak is going to be past his prime pretty soon. You just signed CeeDee Lamb to a deal. What about George Pickens? So all the moves that you made up to this point were for absolutely nothing. Just let Micah Parsons go. And Jerry ain't got time like that. No disrespect. He's 81 years of age. He ain't got time like that. Yeah, Kirk, he's an educated guy. I think he knows ball. But there's always that person in the back of my head saying, when is Kirk ever gone up against any type of authority?
Yeah, I also again, Micah Parsons is far from the only person in the NFL that's probably a headache for coaches or maybe that doesn't get along with every single teammate, but he's still talented. So, and I think Jerry was hinting, he's not good against the run. And it's like, all right, sure. He hasn't been great in the playoffs. Okay, fine. But he makes your team better and your ceiling is lower without him, and that's a fact. I was thinking of Antonio Brown and the Steelers dealing with him. When he was elite, do you really think Mike Tomlin was like, let's ship him out because he's just going to be a little too much in the locker room? Or was he like, this guy's getting 1,500 yards. He's not going anywhere. This is a first-team All-Pro. He's not going anywhere. This guy's leading the league in receptions. I'm not going to send him anywhere. As long as you're performing, teams have historically put up with it. I would love to hear, off the record, behind the scenes, how a GM would feel. What's the, when they finally pull a trigger and go, we just can't.
And
I would imagine, yes.
This is also why I can't applaud him.
Mm-hmm.
You make this move in March. You make the move before the draft. So you get higher draft picks, you get players. Waiting until 5 days before the season, that's ridiculous. You set yourself up. What you should have done is you should have did it in March, or you just say, you know what? Suck it up, and you're going to play on this contract, and we'll try again next year. But making this move right now, I don't applaud that.
No.
You're supposed to be a good businessman, Jerry. That ain't it right there.
It's bad business. Even though you got 2 first-round picks, you need to think about the guys that you're already paying a lot of money to. You're effectively wasting a season. Unless you're going to compete, you're effectively wasting a season of already making Dak the highest-paid player before a couple new contracts came through.
His cap hit is $75 million next year.
Wild. Absolutely wild. Not quite done with Micah. Here's Skip Bayless.
And my gut reaction, as you might guess, is good riddance and good luck, Green Bay, because you just overpaid for the overhyped Micah Parsons, who will never be able to live up to that money, especially in Green Bay, where I don't think he'll ever be happy living. I have said this for months on end. He wrecked games in his rookie year, but the league figured him out. The league caught up. He's just not consistently impactful. For the last 3 years, he has driven me crazy, leaving me wanting more.
What do you think, Bump?
Skip Bayless.
The silence is warranted.
Will he enjoy living in Green Bay? I don't know. That's a lifestyle thing. You gotta be okay with that. But there's a reason why he has 52 sacks over his first 4 years in the game. You don't get 52 on accident. You don't accidentally just fall down and tap 52 ankles and quarterbacks go down to the ground. You watch him on film, he's a wrecker. He's a game wrecker. He gets after the quarterback. That's what he does best. He's not a run stopper. He doesn't play in space. He gets after the quarterback, and that's the name of the game. Protect quarterback, get quarterback. He's one of the best at doing it. And will he live up to that contract? Who knows? I mean, how do we know if he lives up to that contract or not? You know, and does he walk away from that money and say, I don't know, guys, I'm not going to live up to this contract? Heck no. You take that money and you run with it. Mm-hmm. It's a gamble. That's what contracts are, or they're just gambles. We hope it works out. We hope the $130+ million we guaranteed works out. We don't know, but as of now, as of today, he is worth that money.
Speaking of hitting quarterbacks, former New York Jets linebacker Mo Lewis is releasing a new book. It's a soon-to-be-released book contending that it's Drew Bledsoe, not him, who deserves blame for what happened on September 23rd, 2001. Bledsoe obviously hit. It starts the Brady era. This is what Lewis writes. He says, Bledsoe just signed a $100 million deal to be what type of quarterback? A passing quarterback, correct? This is Brady versus Belichick, a quote from Lewis. Had he not got outside the pocket and ran with the ball, would we be talking about this? Who caused the event? The person who was with the ball. Now he's doing what he didn't sign up for. He didn't sign up to be a passing quarterback. What do? I stop the people with the ball. It's just another play for me, but it's a different play for him. So that's why it's him. Anyways, we got some other stuff to come back with. Headline rewrites coming your way next.
The guy we've been wanting to speak to.
Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
Josh Naylor.
Have you gotten a sense of how the fan base has responded to you? Like, when we're on the air and we bring up your name, the texts start flying. They better re-sign him.
The fan base is crazy. It's like almost electric. You can sometimes like feel the ground shaking a little bit when something cool happens. So far, the fan base has been awesome. Even my family says they're incredible and probably one of their favorites that they've had in my career.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. Are they a reliable service? How will I know if something happens? Are they keeping everyone safe? At Bay Alarm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bayalarm.com today to talk to a local security expert.
Hey. 1-877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Plus free premium delivery with any smart bed and adjustable base. Ends Labor Day. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Feeling lucky? Don't miss the Lucky Classic Collector Car Truck and Boat Auction, Saturday, August 30th at Tacoma's LeMay Marymount Event Center. Hundreds of cars, vintage, muscle, exotic, classics, trucks, boats, and more. Saturday, August 30th at Tacoma's LeMay Marymount Event Center. Millions of dollars in inventory, many must sell with no reserve whatsoever. Get lucky, get local, and get in line for the Northwest's greatest collector car auction. Auction details at luckyoldcar.com.
A 15-year-old girl who chewed through a rope to escape a serial killer.
I used my front teeth to saw
on the rope in my mouth.
The killer prowled the Pacific Northwest in the early 70s. He's been convicted of murdering 2 young women, but suspected of many more.
Maybe there's another one in that area.
Follow Stolen Voices of Dole Valley now, so you don't miss an episode.
Get rid of stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin with ProSculpt, the simple 1-day permanent fat reduction and skin tightening treatment. Book your free consultation at prosculpt.com.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on OpenSignal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Help create a future with no more drunk driving victims. Join Molly Shen and the Davis Law Group for Move with MAD, September 13th at Red Square, Central Plaza on the UW campus. Move with MAD raises awareness and funds to help end drunk driving and prevent underage drinking. Every step taken and every dollar raised can help keep our families and communities safe. Sign up to walk or join the team at madwashington.com. Move with MAD, September 13th on the UW campus. Register today.
West Hills Ford, the big Ford store, is celebrating the Ford Summer Sales event with incredible offers, like the 2025 Ford Ranger XL STZ Super Crew 4-wheel drive. Qualified buyers can lease one now for $324 per month for 36 months with $35.99 due at signing. West Hills Ford, the big Ford store, just off the Auto Center Way exit, Highway 3, Bremerton, part of the Hazelwood Auto Group.
Hazelwood has it. Extra, read all about it.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bump and Stacy.
The college football season officially kicked off yesterday with Boise State getting blown out by South Florida 34-7. What's the real headline?
A preview of next year's Pac-12. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
You forget where you come from sometimes.
I know, I change.
You forget where you come from.
I'm someone who, if I win the lotto, I'm forgetting all of your names. I'm never coming back here again. I'm not even speaking to my family. I'm a different person. I'm going to become a monster, and it's going to be like a $20,000 jackpot.
I'm gone. I'm rich.
I'm out of here. I'm like knocking things off desks because I'm quitting. 2 months later, hey guys.
That was hard to watch. I was watching it in the airport, and then I was up in the sky watching this thing go down, and I just shook my head. The one team that the Pac had ranked, you go out there and get smacked like that on a Thursday night. But I wasn't surprised at the same time because Boise State, they're one of those programs to where it's hard to reload every single year at Boise State. I don't know what their NIL looks like. I don't know how much money they're giving these players, but you know that it's tough. And whenever you play a team that has some Florida boys on that squad, you are liable to get beat. They are the overall, in my opinion, the best football players, at least skilled players that we have in this country. And South Florida gets like the third-tier Florida boy and still produces. So it was unfortunate. Bad start for the Pac. You know what? We'll talk about this later, and I'm a bit concerned about my Cougs against Idaho.
Oh, that's a great tease because we are going to have a UW Wazoo week 1 preview coming up later in the show. What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Kyle Schwarber became the 21st major leaguer to hit 4 home runs in a game last night. What's the real headline?
I can't believe this, but Cal's home run lead went from 5 to 1 in one game. Granted, you're looking at someone in the National League, so still the American League leader. And
now it's okay.
Still MLB leader, but by 1, Cal, you got to hit 51 tonight, buddy. You got to do it.
Schwarber, man, I'm telling you, if I could come back and just be any type of baseball player, it'd be a Schwarber. Like, he just hits bombs. He looks
So
like he cracks beers over his head and pounds them like Steve Austin, and then go ahead and picks up his nieces and nephews and runs around the backyard. He just gives me the kind of guy that I want to hang out with vibe. But yeah, I saw that, and this is scary because you felt like he had a nice little cushion and Cal didn't have to stress or press. And I hope he doesn't. Just keep your same swing. Don't do anything crazy. It's gotten you this far. But I did not appreciate Schwarber having the night that he had.
I thought it was exceptionally rude. Very, very rude. Just so sick of Kyle. He won it in the swing off at the not the Derby, the All-Star game, won it for the National League. He's already crushed American League dreams this year.
Right.
But really cool to watch. It is crazy. Is it just me? Ian, are there like more home runs this year? I think this is insane to me. Or am I just noticing it because we're talking about a Mariner?
Balls flying this summer.
Balls are juiced.
Balls are flying this summer.
Yeah, absolutely. It's absolutely insane that we've got obviously Judge is over 40, Ohtani's over 40. You've got Gino Suarez over 40, Cal at 50. Knock on wood, hopefully going over 50 in this series.
Was last year a big strikeout year? Like, if this year's a big home run, the last year was a big strikeout year for the Mariners. It feels like sometimes MLB will flip-flop.
Interesting how they do that. What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce were seen together at last night's Nebraska-Cincinnati game. What's the real headline?
Oh, so now she's invading college football, too. Wow. I thought Saturdays were for the boys, Taylor. Keep it together.
Taylor, you do whatever you want to do, girl.
Do whatever you want, Taylor.
It's your world. Everyone has their time. Everyone has their time. You know what? Sometimes some people had their time in elementary, middle school, high school, when they peaked. She is still rising. She is on the rise right now as we speak. And I'm not even mad. At first, I was annoyed by seeing her all the time.
Were you?
I was. But then I was like, I'm a Laker fan. They always pan to some celebrity in the crowd at Laker games. And then I said, why are you hating on her like that? You guys have the same birthday, all right? She's a Saggy just like you. And I need to just put that. Sometimes you just hate for no reason. And I caught myself. I go, why are you doing this?
And then you were
she
like,
did nothing to you.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, what up, girl? Hey, more Taylor Swift. Show her, man. Hey, as long as Travis Kelce is happy, I'm good.
Happy.
Just don't mess this up because she will write a fire album about you, dog.
City Boy's way up right now with this engagement. You're way up. It's crazy. Yeah. The scoreboard is not looking great. But overall, I feel the same way. I was just talking with my sister about this the other day where, granted, we're going to be a little biased here. Neither of us are like Taylor Swift fans, but I think both of us think like, well, what's the issue? She's just Taylor Swift. Like, she's kind of harmless. But also, the camera isn't panning to Taylor Swift like in the middle of a important play, 3rd and 2, let's see what's going to happen here, and they're like, let's check in on Taylor Swift. That's not what's happening. It's like coming back from a commercial break, or it's like when they would have shots of the crowd anyways, or the sideline anyways, because they're showing reactions to a touchdown. So why are you mad about it? I don't know. It's really weird, and I think it's deeply rooted in like some weird insecurity kind of. They're invading. I don't know. I think there's also a lot of people where it's like, I would imagine out there are a lot of dads or moms that are football fans, and they have teenage kids or young girls that are now more interested in watching the game with them. And I think that's awesome.
You know what I think it was? I think it was like when you go out to watch a football game and someone shows up with their girl. And they're like, oh, why you bring her? Why you bring her? But then she sits down and you're like, she's actually kind of cool, though.
That's exactly what it is.
She's kind of cool. I think I was tripping. She can come to the game. Not every game, but she can come kick it.
I do. So we only have a minute and a half here, but I want to get back just for a second to the Micah Parsons conversation. And I want to focus on that issue or question about like someone being a headache versus what they bring to your team. Because John Schneider clearly has moved on from guys that are talented but not worth the stress. He's also clearly been willing to deal with those guys. We knew Jamal Adams had a big personality before the Seahawks traded with him. You know what I mean? Like, there are players he's acquired that have had personality questions. When is it worth it? Like, do you think it's ever, for instance, for Micah, how far down the list would, he's got an issue with DeMarcus Lawrence and is maybe a headache rank for you?
Not very high. DeMarcus, love you, and you're going to do great things. But you have to build for the future. You have to build your team how you see fit. And if John Schneider saw that as an issue, and that was one of the reasons why, then so be it. But it has to be that and several other things and several other situations. Like, all right, he doesn't get along with this guy. I don't want to give up 2 first-round picks. I don't want to give up another player. If they're asking too much, I'm good. It can't just be, oh, they don't get along.
Mm-hmm.
You know how many people I played with I didn't get along with? And still blood, sweat, and tears will do anything for him on the football field.
Let me tell you
what.
what.
As soon as the pads are off, the cleats are untied, it's deuces. I'll see you tomorrow.
I and every other reporter have covered people who we knew hated each other, who would like openly, you're like, no, I'm not going to include that line here. I don't know if I'm going to include that part. Like, just did not like each other, would get frustrated with each other. There's an underlying tone of respect when players recognize if someone else is a good player or talented, but there's certainly at times animosity when you just don't like someone.
Yeah.
And I do wonder, I'm just curious about, I wish I could speak off the record to like John Schneider or Brian Gutekunst with the Packers and be like, do you ever draw a line? Like, if someone continues to produce at a Pro Bowl, all-pro level,
yeah,
how bad do they have to be before you're like, all right, no?
There's always a line. There's always a line.
Yeah. Talking Mariners with broadcaster Gary Hill. He joins us next.
The guy we've been wanting to speak to, Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2. Josh Naylor.
Have you gotten a sense of how the fan base has responded to you? Like, when we're on the air and we bring up your name, the texts are playing. They better re-sign you.
The fan base is crazy. It's like almost electric. You can sometimes like feel the ground shaking a little bit when something cool happens. So far, the fan base has been awesome. Even my family says they're incredible and probably one of their favorites that they've had in my career.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health, it's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Hey, college students, Safeway is giving you 5% off. That's right. Junior colleges, tech schools, universities, just verify your student ID in the app. Unlock exclusive deals and shop on the app or in person. Better yet, subscribe to Fresh Pass to get free delivery and other special offers. Remember, if you use EBT, Fresh Pass is 50% off and you get savings on fresh produce. For all the details, visit Safeway.com/4U. That's Safeway.com/FOR in the letter U.
Are you frustrated with those trendy weight loss shots and not getting the long-term results you really want? This is Dr. Ryan Coogan with Eastside Weight Loss, and whether you've hit a plateau, can't handle the side effects, or watch the pounds creep back after stopping, there's a better way. Our program has helped over 4,000 people lose up to 10 to 20% of their body weight in just 8 weeks without expensive injections or uncomfortable side effects. Our doctor-developed program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast. Ready for real lasting results? Visit eastsideweightlossclinic.com now to schedule your free consultation.
Did he just say Eastside Weight Loss Clinic is half the cost and works twice as fast as weight loss injections? Well, if that's not reason enough, you don't risk the scary side effects or gaining the weight back as soon as you stop. Eastside Weight Loss Clinic is natural, and it works.
Many clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two, and you can do our program remotely from anywhere you live. Schedule your free consultation at eastsideweightlossclinic.com. That's eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary. By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in Seattle without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in Seattle for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text FREE to 64,000. Seattle is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop next week right here in Seattle and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text FREE to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes, and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text FREE to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text FREE to 64,000.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to the end of summer sale at AutoZone. We're celebrating the end of long days and short nights with big deals for a short time, like car wash. Right now, you can save 20% on the Armor All Complete Car Wash Kit. Need new brakes? Duralast brake pads are free with the purchase of Duralast rotors. We've also got oil deals and more. We're ending the summer right with the end of summer sale at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Tune in September 7th as the Seahawks take on San Francisco. Kickoff is at 1:05 p.m. Muckleshoot Casino Resort, proud sponsor of the Seattle Seahawks and the biggest and best in the Pacific Northwest.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
Seattle Sports Snapshot.
A massive trade rocked the NFL yesterday. We didn't think they'd do it, but they did. The Dallas Cowboys traded 4-time Pro Bowl edge rusher Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers on Thursday for a pair of first-round picks, plus Pro Bowl defensive tackle Kenny Clark. The Mariners are on the road today against the Cleveland Guardians. George Kirby versus Logan Allen. First pitch at 4:10 p.m. Pregame show starts at 3 p.m. right here on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Mariners broadcaster Gary Hill joining us now in the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Gary, the Mariners are back after an off day, and I'm really noticing, I don't know about you, that after every off day or maybe with the start of a homestand, I'm like really excited. It just feels like this team has a lot of really fun, intriguing momentum going. For all their flaws, it's been really exciting to watch. What do you think?
Yeah, no doubt. And that's when this gets super fun, when you have a team that's chasing a division title, chasing a playoff spot. It feels like as we watch this team and look at the landscape in the American League, it truly feels to me like everything is on the table. Like all the hopes and dreams that all Mariners fans have, it's all on the table. So that's what this time of year is all about. And it gets amplified too when you get into September. And it feels like, hey, this is a really important series. And the more you hang around, the more you challenge for a division, you start saying that about every single series in September. And to me, that's what this is all about. That's when this gets super fun.
Gary, they're taking on Cleveland. What's the scouting report on these guys? How are they playing? What should this series look like?
They are not playing well. They have lost 9 of their last 12. Their offense has been really bad. So they're a team that's still 500, and they've been – at times they've been really good this year. There's a couple of scary aspects to this team. One, it's always hard to win on the road. That's part of it. Another is they have a superstar in Jose Ramirez, who's just one of the best hitters in the game and one of the best hitters that no one ever talks about. And he's the kind of star that can change a game or change a series. Like he could have 7 extra base hits in this series and change 2 games on his own. So he is scary on his own. And the other part that's scary is their back end of the bullpen is really good, despite not having their closer, who's not with the team now. So they still have a really good back end of the bullpen. And I suspect that Stephen Vogt, former Mariners coach, now manager with Cleveland, will be really aggressive in this series. Because if we turn this around and look at this series from Cleveland's perspective, they're a team that is 5 games behind the Mariners. So if you think about it from their perspective, heading into September, think about a sweep either way. They could be 8 games back if the Mariners swept and feel like they're out of it going into September, or, they sweep the Mariners and they're a couple games back heading into September and they feel like their fortunes have completely changed. So I feel like, and we'll see how it plays out, that Stephen Vogt will be pretty aggressive in managing this series and using his bullpen that's really good at the back end. If they have any lead, any chance for a lead, to try and find a way to get as many wins in this series as possible. And that's going to be a storyline, I think, of this entire trip, because Tampa Bay is in a similar boat as Cleveland, both teams targeting the Mariners. These are huge series for both teams.
I am positive that another storyline will be not just how this team performs on the road as a whole, but specifically how the pitchers perform on the road.
Yes.
What do you think's happening there?
Well, I mean, it's partly been a couple of years now where the Mariners have just been so good at home, like really dominant at home. And part of it's the ballpark. I don't think there's any question about that. I don't know if that's all of it. And it just seems that the blow-ups have happened on the road. They've just been so consistently good at home. And for the most part, they've been good on the road, but the blow-ups have happened on the road. And, think back to, the Gilbert and Kirby starts back-to-back, or that one entire turn through the rotation. Like, there were, outside of Wu, blow-ups all over the place. So that's what I think you're trying to avoid here on the road, and especially against a team like Cleveland. Like, this is a really good matchup on paper for the Mariners. This is a Cleveland team that's not scoring runs. They're averaging about 2 a game in their last dozen. So I have pretty high expectations for the rotation and the bullpen and them pitching against Cleveland in this ballpark.
Not going to lie, Gary, don't know much about Logan Allen, the left-hander who will be on the mound for Cleveland today, 4.35 ERA. What's he throwing, and is this a gettable guy here?
He's a gettable guy, but he has some traits that can be concerning to some Mariner fans. He's a lefty that will throw a changeup, and we've seen these type of lefties keep the Mariners off balance in games recently. They ran through their string of lefties recently, so this is, think of J.P. Sears, that kind of thing. That's what the Mariners are staring at today. He's had an up-and-down season. He's been decent this year. He got blown up in his last start. But he pitched well against the Mariners twice last year. So now it hasn't been when they face lefties, they've had their way with some of them. So especially as they got to the back end of that run of lefties recently. So this is a guy they can get to, but it's been a challenge at times against lefties that aren't necessarily hard throwing, more on the crafty side, keeping hitters off balance. So I think it's a good matchup today, but there is that twinge of like, how is this going to look against the soft tosser?
No, once you started describing him, I thought, oh no, I'd rather hear it's like they're facing Scooball today. Like, oh, here we go.
I'm sorry.
4 bombs minimum. It's just the way this team has been this year is like the pitchers that should make you very nervous. You're like, this is pretty nice. Speaking of,
I mean, it is the thing about Cleveland too. Generally, when you face Cleveland, their pitching is always really good. So it's hard to expect the Mariners are going to put 10 on the board in a game just because that's what Cleveland is, but looking at the matchups, they should score some runs in this series.
It's fitting that Bump did ask you to describe the pitcher and that I was immediately thinking of the lineup when you described him as a lefty. I wanted to ask you a question about lineup. I will say, and maybe you agree with me, that I think sometimes fans debate the lineup or not care about it, but debate it or critique it way more than managers should, at least in experience when I would hear about service, it's like they don't love lots of questions about the lineup. That being said, we do see a lot of them on the text line. So this would be standard lineup, like against righties. But Cal, the other day with Shannon, was asked about hitting second versus third and, describe kind of the difference there, and then mentioned like it really does help to have like a set lineup, though, where you kind of know where you're going to be, and it's nice. What do you think of the kind of set lineup we're seeing for this team? I remember loving it when they debuted Arozarena leading off.
Yeah, I think he's a good fit there. He has some traits that you want at the top of the lineup. And I also like having a power threat at the top. It's just, if you have that, that's great. So I have liked the lineup they've settled into, especially from left-handed lineup when you have Naylor in the middle, because I just really like the balance. Adding Naylor and Gino to the lineup has really lengthened it, and I just love the balance. So I am, just full disclosure here, I don't care as much about the lineup as most people. I just, like, my philosophy is get your best hitters at the top, and if you can make it tough on opposition to go lefty, righty, that sort of thing, to challenge a bullpen, then do that. And I feel like that's what the Mariners are doing. Their best hitters are at the top. They're seeing the most plate appearances. The thing I like Cal about batting second is he's batting a ton. He's been the Mariners' best hitter this year, and batting second means you're going to bat a lot. So that's kind of my general philosophy on it. And when you see a lineup consistently like this, it means your lineup's really good. I mean, that's what it means. It means your lineup 1 through 9 is really good. So there's a reason you're seeing it consistently. And there's a reason why early in the season you were seeing more platoons, because you're trying to squeeze out every advantage when you're facing the opposition. And they don't have to do that as much here. Now, there is a difference when you're facing a lefty. You'll see Garver in there. And guys still need days off, and things happen. There's bumps and bruises and that sort of thing. But the reason that it's been so consistent is this is the best lineup they've rolled out in a long time.
Last time we saw Kirby was against the A's, had a decent outing, actually. Pitched 6 innings on 1 earned. Time before that, he was against the Mets, got lit up a little bit. Is there anything you need to see from Kirby, or do you feel like he's in a good place? I'm checking in on all these guys in the rotation, Gary. I need some reassurance that they're going to be okay during this stretch.
No, it's good to check in on them, because I keep saying I think the rotation is going to be the key in this final month. I really do, and especially the top 3, like the Gilbert, Kirby, Wu right now. I think that is going to be the key to the final month, because if you get consistent starts out of them, I think it's a good bet the Mariners punch their ticket to the postseason, and I think it's a good bet they win the division. But they have to have consistent starts. And I think for the most part, Kirby is in a really good place. Outside of the start in Williamsport against the Mets, he gave up 7 runs in that start. If you remove that one, he's working on a really solid run since June. So his first couple starts back were kind of rocky, but I think this is a really good version of him right now. And I think he's learned some things over the last couple of years that he's applying into games right now. I don't think he's afraid to walk a guy at this point, which sounds kind of weird to say about a pitcher, but for George, I think it's important, because he is not just, an 0-2 count, he's not just pouring it over the plate, right? He's trying to get some swing and miss. He's going outside the zone a little bit. And if he walks the guy, he walks the guy. Like last start, he walked 3 in a start, which is really abnormal, but he pitched great. 6 innings of 1-run ball, right? And struck out 3. So I'm really excited about where he is at right now. And coupled with what we saw from Gilbert in his last start, like heading into September, I think there's a lot to be excited about with the rotation.
I think one of the views on Kirby had also been like, oh, he's, speaking of him maybe being okay giving up a couple walks, which is crazy to hear, but you're right. When things get out of hand, he can kind of shut down or whatever. And I know that can simplify things, but speaking to growth, have you seen he and Logan, and maybe even the younger guys like Wu, who's had a spectacular season, really grow in how they deal with pressure when things can fall apart, runners on, things like that?
I have. And, we're to the point now where you're looking at this still is, you consider it a young rotation because it is. At the same time, you're getting to the point where a lot of these guys have been there, right? I mean, you're talking about Logan Gilbert now, who's, it's kind of hard to believe, but he's pitching into his 5th season. And he's been an all-star, and he's experienced postseason. And with the Mariners, he's experienced what postseason runs are like down the stretch. And you can say the same thing about Logan Gilbert. He's experienced, or about George Kirby. He's experienced the postseason. He's experienced runs. He's several years into this thing. So I think that is something that they have learned, and I think it's going to be a really important lesson here down the stretch as these games get amplified, because they will. The better you play, the better the Mariners play in September, the more important all these games are going to be, and the more important all these series are going to be. Like, everything will ratchet up as the Mariners get closer to clinching a division or postseason and getting into the postseason. And so I think it's really beneficial that those guys all have experience in big games.
Gary, you talked about the arms having experience. What about the order? Who leads the charge in that department?
Well, first of all, I'm very excited to see Randy Arozarena in the postseason if the Mariners get in, because fans may remember Randy Arozarena has simply been one of the greatest postseason hitters of all time, and I don't say that lightly. His numbers are absolutely out of control in the postseason. So I'd be very excited to see him in a post series once again. But you go down the list again, and some of them with the Mariners, some of them not. There's a lot of postseason experience there, right? I mean, Cal's been there, Julio's been there, Naylor's been in a lot of competitive environments. He's making his return to Cleveland tonight, and I'm sure he'll be greeted very warmly because he had some really good years with Cleveland, and they were always competitive in the postseason. So he's been there. Gino's been there. I mean, you go up and down, and there's a lot of guys that have been there in the postseason, but none have shined as brightly as Randy Arozarena.
I think just in a quick one here, just the slug they have too is really encouraging. Like you mentioned in the postseason, so naturally I start thinking of the last postseason game we watched, and that was in that unfortunate series finale against the Astros here in Seattle, 18 innings. And I don't want to jump the gun here. Like, they still have to make it to the postseason. I don't see that kind of game happening again. Like, I have a hard time seeing this lineup going 18 innings without getting a run.
It's what I find the most exciting about this lineup right now. And postseason, I know we're getting ahead of ourselves, but not only for postseason, but down the stretch.
Like, look, when the Mariners are in the World Series this year.
Let's start breaking down the matchup. So the Mariners and Padres, game one, I kind of like
No, but I mean,
the slug.
Yeah, the slug.
The slug is hugely important when you get to the postseason, because the fact of the matter is the teams in the postseason can pitch, and you're going to face really good pitchers. And what you can't do is you just can't stack up hits. And to your point, the Astros series is a great example because it was the same on the other side. The Astros couldn't stack up hits against the Mariners.
Yep.
The Mariners couldn't stack up hits against the Astros. And in the postseason, more times than not, what you often see is one swing of the bat that changes the dynamic of a game. And I don't remember the records offhand, but teams that homer in the postseason, out-homer their opponents, win the vast majority of the time. And the Mariners have a lineup now where there's a lot of pop up and down. I mean, they might have two guys that are going to be plus 50 homers by the end of the year, depending on what Gino does in this final month, which is pretty absurd. I mean, they're going to have Randy and Julio that will be 30-ish. Polanco, I don't know where he's going to fall, maybe 25-ish. That's a lot of power in the top of your lineup and a very dangerous lineup to pitch to. And we've seen it play out in games. And I know that Padres game where they came back, they ended up losing, but that's a great example where they fell down early, 5-0. And it's the kind of game I think in years past where it's like, well, it's going to be really hard to come back. And two big swings later, they have the lead. That's the kind of team they're capable of right now. And for me, the key, though, is to get on base a little bit more. When they've been at their best this season, they've put the power together with the base on balls, with the good on base percentage, and that's when they're truly just really dangerous.
He is Mariners broadcaster Gary Hill. Thanks, Gary.
Thanks, Gary.
Yeah, anytime. I can't wait to talk World Series soon.
Can't wait. We'll go ahead and book you now. Thank you. Let's get to 4 down territory.
This is 4 down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, what has the Micah trade done to the Seahawks?
It gave one more contender in the NFC. We talked about this to start the show, right? Green Bay Packers, to me, were already on the cusp of being one of the top 3 teams in the NFC. So now expectations have skyrocketed. Could you imagine being a Green Bay Packers fan right now? You got Micah Parsons on your squad. You got Jordan Love coming back. You're thinking to yourself, conference championship or bust. So what that did to the Seahawks, it gave you one more team you got to worry about. You got to take care of your business. You play your schedule. You do what you have to do. But everybody was trying to beat Philly. That was the name of the game. You beat Philly. And they're like, okay, but to get through Philly, you got to get through Detroit. All right, to get through Detroit, all right, we'll see what the Vikings do. But now the Packers are just catapulted themselves right up there, and I think they are the number 1 team to try to take down Philly, which makes the NFC that much better. You look at the AFC, obviously you got Baltimore, you got Buffalo, you have the Kansas City Chiefs, and Cincinnati. We'll see what their defense looks like. You have 4 teams that you know are going to be good. NFC, yeah, now you have Philly, you got the Commanders, you got Detroit, you got Green Bay, and the Rams. Let's not sleep on the Rams. The NFC is slowly becoming the powerhouse conference once again. As a team, you go to quarterbacks, it's always going to be the AFC. AFC handles that. They got the best quarterbacks. Slowly but surely, give this conference 2 or 3 years, I think the powers are going to shift like it did in the NBA. It used to be all about the West and the NBA, then the East came back. It goes back and forth. I think the power is going to shift here in a couple years.
Second down. What are you most excited about when it comes to the offensive line?
You got some young guys for cheap, and if it is done correctly, you might have your offensive line for the next 3 or 4 years. You have Charles Cross, who's 24 years of age. He's getting paid $6.9. You got Gray Zabel, who's 23. He's getting paid $3.3. Sundell, Mike McDonald came out and said Sundell's a starting center. All right, he's 25. He's getting $960,000. You got Anthony Bradford, who's 24. He's getting paid $1.2. You got Abe Lucas, who's 26. He's getting paid $3.6. Some contracts are going to be extended. You got to adjust. But for the most part, you got young guys for the low. Is this the right group? Anthony Bradford and Sundell are the 2 names that we look at and we're the most curious about. Are they going to be able to take the next step? But you are moving in the right direction. So look, they're young, they're cheap. Let's get developed, and maybe you get a great return on your investment.
Third down. What needs to happen in Jacksonville in week 1?
Travis Hunter should never leave the field. Offense, defense, special teams, kick the ball, receive the ball. This is Jacksonville's chance to give their fans what they want. It's going to be sold out. It's going to be loud. They don't even have to win this game. Who are they playing? I think they're playing, who are they playing that first week? Let me see, Jacksonville. I know it's at home.
Panthers.
Playing the Panthers. Like, come on now. You're playing the Panthers. You're at home. Travis Hunter debut. It needs to be all about that man not leaving the field. After this week, then you start to taper down a bit and make sure he's healthy and good to go. You got the Bengals after that, then the Texans and the Niners and the Chiefs. Then the Seahawks. It's going to get nasty for you after this. And you got to make sure he's good. Before this debut, give the people exactly what they want. The Jacksonville Jaguars are not going to the playoffs. They are not contenders. What are you playing for? For development and for sales at this point. It is a business over there in Jacksonville. And the best move for that business is to put Travis Hunter on that field for 100 plays and let him go. Congratulations on his baby, too.
Fourth down. All right, we spent some time earlier in the show talking about Benjamin Solak's X-Factor for the Seahawks. That feature up on ESPN.com. What's your X-Factor for the Seahawks?
So during that segment, I said the offensive line, but the real X-Factor for this has to be Kubiak, because Kubiak has to adjust. What if your offensive line does not perform the way that you want it to? What if you can't get the run game going? How are you going to adjust? What if being under center and play action does not work for you? How are you going to adjust? But that's the challenge of every offensive coordinator and every defensive coordinator. This is nothing new to Kubiak. This isn't just reserved for Kubiak. Everyone has to go through this. And they could not perform the way that they want to. And if I just see some adjustments, like, I get what you're doing, but the Jimmys and Joes got to win the game for you. If it all makes sense, they could not perform the way they want to, and I can throw my hands up and be just fine with what Kubiak is doing. I believe in what he's doing already, the approach that he's taking during this preseason. But it's all about adjustments. No matter what happens, whether they're playing great or they're playing horribly, Kubiak has to connect the dots and put it together. So my X-factor has to be the man calling the plays.
I mean, I certainly liked particularly what we saw in the second preseason game, but it certainly looks like the offense is what Kubiak pitched it to be. And I think it's important that that's aligned so far. Again, I know nothing matters until week 1. You're playing NFL starting defensive players in week 1, so you really get that tested. But I'm intrigued by not like Kubiak doesn't have a ton of experience, 2 years as an OC, but like having been an NFL OC and having a philosophy that's aligned with McDonald is intriguing.
And he's been around the game his whole life.
His whole life. Let's see what's on tonight.
What's on tonight with Bump and Stacy, brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot. Now, here's what's on tonight.
The Mariners are finally back after an off day. Finally back. It's been one day, but we're all so excited. First pitch is coming up at 4 p.m. Pregame show starts at 3 p.m. right here on Seattle Sports. Coming up next, a fun conversation with Mike Cameron.
The guy we've been wanting to speak to.
Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
Josh Naylor.
Have you gotten a sense of how the fan base has responded to you? Like, when we're on the air and we bring up your name, the text start playing, they better re-sign you.
The fan base is crazy. It's like almost electric. You can sometimes like feel the ground shaking a little bit when something cool happens. So far, the fan base has been awesome. Even my family says they're incredible and probably one of their favorites that they've had in my career.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Start having fun. Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your boat, boat wins.
What are you going to do? Take the boat out for a spin or go mail something? Boat wins! Are we cleaning the patio or taking the boat out fishing? Boat wins! Are we skipping that eye exam to go sailing? Boat wins!
Rescheduling eye exams can be a nightmare.
All right, fine. Eye exam, then boat.
Yeah! With Progressive, you can bundle your boat with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings on your boat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Beat rising costs at Lake Washington Windows and Doors. For a limited time, get a 20% inflation discount and enjoy easy 18-month free financing with 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest. Details at lakewashingtonwindows.com.
This summer, make sure your roof is ready for the season ahead with a company you can trust, like 3 Tree Roofing. We're not just your roofers, we're your neighbors, and we're here to help you protect your home this season. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free on-site estimate and get your roof replaced before the summer rush and potential material price increases. Our certified technicians make your roof replacement easy and worry-free, so you can focus on the important things this summer. Visit 3treeroofing.com to schedule your free, no-pressure estimate. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Matt Coker here from West Coast Men's Health. Guys, Viagra is not the answer for your problem. I know you think it is, but Viagra has horrible side effects, and for most men, the longer you're on it, the less it works. Viagra is not a curative medication. It's not fixing your problem. It's a Band-Aid for a shark bite. Acoustic wave therapy is the newest technology that can correct your problem, not just treat it. We can do something that no pill can do. We can restore your blood flow naturally. Get off Viagra today. Change your life like the thousands of men who already have, regardless of your age or your medical history. If you're tired of dealing with Peyronie's disease or erectile dysfunction, then call West Coast Men's Health today.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Help create a future with no more drunk driving victims. Join Davis Law Group for Move with MAD September 13th at Red Square, Central Plaza on the UW campus. Sign up to walk or join the team at madwashington.com today.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Goodbye baseball! Home runs in 3 consecutive games. Cal Raleigh, the big dumper.
The Mariners' postseason push is on, and there's a whole new way to be part of the action. Introducing the Homestretch Flex Plan, a $500 membership that gives you the freedom to choose your games and seats for the rest of the season, all while saving 5% on tickets and no fees.
Strike 3 call! Triple digits to end it and complete the sweep.
You can use your credit however you want. Go big with club seats for a couple high-stakes showdowns, or stretch it out into the final series against the Dodgers. And the best part, Homestretch Flex members get priority access to our postseason pre-sale. That means you're first in line when October comes calling. The team is locked in.
J.P. Crawford! Game winner, walk-off fashion in the 9th inning.
And now it's time to bring the energy down the stretch. Come on board today at mariners.com/homestretch. Mariners baseball. Try dance up.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
All right, Bump has to go prep for a big game, so you guys are stuck with just me, but I have a very special guest set to join us. We're going to try to get a hold here of Mike Cameron and hear what he has to say about this Mariners team. I'm really excited about this team. I know some people out there are still doomers or maybe just hesitant to really buy in, completely understand. The thing that I'm maybe questioning, and we'll be watching very closely on this road trip, is going to be the home road splits for pitchers. Really eager to see especially how the starters are on the road. You get a good look at Kirby tonight going against the Guardians, but those home road splits are tough for Seattle right now, and I don't mean tough in a good way. I mean, they look bad. Ian, you were looking up kind of how this team is on the road versus home. I mean, whether it's having, I don't know if you pulled up the stat, or whether it's just being able to tell with your eyeballs that they aren't quite the same. What do you see?
I see it as you operate in a pitcher's park like for 80% of your games. And when you're not pitching in that pitcher's park anymore, the ball's going to fly. Especially a lot of these are like East Coast meltdowns where you're in a different routine, you're going early in the day, something like that. So I think this is more of a feel thing than like a real issue that the Mariners have to be worried about.
Let's ask Mike Cameron. He played 17 years in the league. I think he knows something. Former Mariners center fielder joins us right now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Mike, how's it going?
Good. How you guys doing?
Fantastic. We were just talking about home road splits. And, Mike, I've never played. I don't actually know what this is like. So I can guess what might be going on. Now, here's the problem, Mike. I was looking up your career splits just before having you on. The problem is you were pretty consistent no matter where you played. So you were really good on the road and you were good at home. But in your experience, does an environment make a difference? Like, do you know why? Like, why do you think that the Mariners pitchers or the Mariners as a team just haven't been quite as stellar on the road?
The position players or the pitchers?
Pitchers.
Well, I mean, you know, a little bit above my classification, but if I had to say anything, it'd probably be because of the parts factor. Yeah. And so that's why you got to look at all the WRC plus and everything else. So, well, not WRC plus for pitchers. I think it's ERA plus when they do park adjusted stuff.
Yeah.
So I would think, for the most part, it has a lot to do with, just the environment. You can get away with a lot more in Seattle opposed to some other ballparks. But, the objective from a pitching aspect is to try to be consistent as possible to deliver the results that you're looking for. I know it's a big factor for a hitter. I mean, that is by far one of the biggest factors. I think my time in Seattle, I was stunk at home, but I was able to hold my own up a little bit, but I was really good on the road. So it definitely is an impact as a hitter when you can perhaps hit a ball well to your opposite field, and it more likely going out than it probably be an out. So,
I think, yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think as you're talking about it, I just think it's what makes Cal's season so insane, like that someone is racking up these totals and doing it when he's playing half the time at T-Mobile.
Yeah, I mean, he's a switch hitter, and he's big, strong country dude from North Carolina, man. So I don't think it matters to him for him. I mean, he's just using all of his, physicality in that. And I think, a lot of things that these guys want to feel is to be able to see the ball well and feel comfortable in the box. I found myself in certain boxes, I felt very much comfortable, and I saw the ball a little bit better sometimes in some places than others. So it is definitely, if it's not on your frontal lobe, then it's definitely in the back of your mind, as to what it is. So what Cal is doing is super duper special, just simply because he plays every day. He plays he plays the most demanding position of all places. What I have found out about what you don't do from a production standpoint in Seattle, the weather preserves your body. You don't have these long, crazy hot spells or really cold spells. It's pretty good. It's good for your body, and I think that is always good. I got a chance to play on I played in the Pacific Northwest in my mid-20s or late 20s, I should say. And then I got a chance to play my early 30s my early 30s in San Diego. So me playing another demanding position, which is center field, it preserves your body so much more. So when you get to September, you're probably mentally tired, more than anything. But your body is physically, it's okay. You can will the body with your mind, but, you want to be mentally in tune to everything. And, also, too, like the adrenaline of what it is for these last, 30 games, and that you have something to reach for, is that alone will get you going on a daily basis. So I don't, I'm speaking for the whole offense now. I don't seem to think that there will be no letdown in September as you start to see some teams fall off a little bit and kind of go through the motions. The teams that are vying for playoff spots, they will be amped on a daily basis, man, although it's going to be mentally draining because of the concentration that you need to try to get W's on the board.
No, this offense legitimately has surprised me so much. Going back to Cal for just a second, I obviously have to ask you, Mike, is he the AL MVP?
Yes. He's definitely 1-1 or 1A or 1B right now with Judge. We cannot dispute what, Judge has been able to do consistent, but, I'm biased, so I'm going to be pulling for Cal.
I'll allow it.
But I understand I understand the respect factor of what Judge is doing and what he means to the game and how he's been able to maintain his dominance in performance. I just think that is going down the stretch and considerable in this September. You know, sometimes MVPs are won in the last month, and this is a great opportunity for, you know, just writers all over the world to be able to take notice, because Seattle is going to be have a spotlight on them trying to get by for a playoff spot. So it's going to be really interesting. But, you know, I'm pulling for Cal, man. It'll be, you know, I really haven't seen many guys that, you know, hit 50 homers.
Yeah.
50-plus homers and have close to 120 ribbies and not win an MVP. It's going to be, especially now, you know, considering. But obviously it's going to be a challenge to be able to supplant Judge as the American League MVP. But Cal is definitely on his trail. And, you know, what better way to do it than to do it down the stretch, man, where it vaults the team into a playoff spot and possibly even win a division. That would mean, I think that would have a very large impact. I've been looking at some numbers on MLB Network and, you know, Brian Kenny putting these different win probability things up and everything else. But you do have to take in consideration that Cal is a catcher, man, and he plays every day and he's in the lineup every day. So going to the post every day, man, is pretty special in the sense that what he is.
He is Mariners former center fielder Mike Cameron. Hey, very quickly before I let you go, you mentioned like, hey, this team, their eye on the playoffs, and I'm sorry I didn't save you a lot of time for this one, but I have to ask, does this feel like a good playoff team?
Definitely. I like it from my opinion and my perspective is that there's a real lineup out every day. You know, I mean, there's probably one or two people that are interchangeable in a sense, but for the most part, like there are at least 7 guys in the lineup that are on the field every day, and we haven't had that in a couple of years. You kind of needed that, and so it was a great job of being able to get Josh and also be able to get Gino because it solidifies things. You know, it actually puts 7 players on the field where a couple of guys will be interchangeable, and so that in itself gives me the signal that this is a very capable lineup to be able to do some damage. And we all know that, you know, the playoffs is a crapshoot, but anytime you have a team that's running out there every day, it's a beautiful thing, man. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm pretty sure the people in Seattle are looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
Been chomping at the bit for the last couple of years. And I used to say, man, like people don't really know what it's like, you know, to Safeco for me with T-Mobile now. Like it used to be the biggest block party at 7 o'clock every day. And hoping that everyone gets a chance to experience that as we got a chance to experience a couple of years ago.
I need that to come back. That's what I need to see.
Oh, yeah. Oh, heck yes. I mean, it would be. And look, I do think that if this team gets in, it really can run the gauntlet because of the pitching staff and the bullpen. So it's just going to be being able to contribute, you know, to put yourself in a position where you don't have to run yourself crazy in this last 5 weeks of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, we're coming down to last 5 weeks of the season. So it's going to be pretty special, man. And I'm pretty sure everyone is excited about that.
Incredibly excited. Mike, thank you so much for your time, man. We appreciate it.
All right. You guys have a great day.
The great Mike Cameron, kind enough to join us for the Farm Report. Mixing up all kinds of words. Thankfully, I only have 15 more minutes with you guys. Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776.
And the pitch on the way to Junior.
It's been 27 years since a Mariners slugger has reached the half-century mark.
Breaking ball, belted into the upper deck.
Look out, Junior. You've got company.
Upper deck, goodbye baseball, number 50 for Cal Raleigh.
This is where you hear Cal's quest for 56.
Magical.
And the Mariners push to the playoffs. Seattle Sports, the home of the Mariners.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different. What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done. This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, baseball fans, T-Mobile is turning up the excitement with the Grand Slam giveaway. Want to score 4 premium tickets to an upcoming professional baseball game? This is your shot to experience the action like a VIP. Stop by your nearest T-Mobile Experience store and enter for your chance to win. While you're there, check out all the amazing deals and perks waiting for you with T-Mobile, your hometown network. Don't strike out. The Grand Slam giveaway won't last forever. Visit your local T-Mobile Experience store today for your chance to win 4 premium professional baseball tickets.
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal swinging a drive, deep to right field.
Every pitch of every Mariners game is on the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Brock Ewart here with some great news. I'm with Shannon O'Kelly, physical therapist and owner of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Shannon, you guys just increased your community coverage.
That's right, Brock. We like to say we're in your neighborhood. We have you covered here at IRG. We just added 2 fantastic locations. One is in Harbor Square in the Edmonds Bowl, and the other one is in the Mill Creek Town Center, right to the entrance to Mill Creek Town Center. So we'll be able to provide fantastic care to all of us and everybody's neighborhood.
You know I love it. Expert physical and hand therapy right in your neighborhood.
That's right. We're in your neighborhood. We want to be your neighborhood family physical therapist. We'll take care of you, your family, and your neighbor.
And remember, no referral needed. Just personalized care when and where you need it. Visit IRGPT.com and schedule your appointment today. With over 40 convenient locations, IRG is right in your neighborhood, and now 2 new spots as well. That's IRGPT.com, IRGPT.com.
Hey, it's Dr. Coogan from Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. We've been fortunate to work with over 4,000 local people and help them hit some pretty amazing weight loss goals. I'm joined by 2 of them right now, Mike Salk and Ryan Rowland Smith. Mike, you were able to lose about a pound per day for over a month, 35 pounds in total.
Well, as much as I'd love to take all the credit, really, I was just following the plan. Eastside Weight Loss Clinic made it super easy, and there really was no part I struggled with. I was eating delicious, fresh food, all while losing weight. The accountability from your team was great. It just helped me keep the focus. I felt catered to the entire way, and I think Ryan really had a similar experience.
No doubt about it. I just finished up the program, and I can't believe how well it worked. I wish I would have started sooner. Talk about motivation. Salt, thanks for the recommendation.
No surgery, no exercise, no packaged meals, no drugs or injections. Just delicious food and a plan that works. Schedule a free 15-minute consultation today at eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776. What I need to know. I actually think this is a good question. Will Cal still have a shot at MVP if Kyle Schwarber, yes, in the National League, but if Kyle Schwarber overtakes him in the home run chase? So if you no longer can say Cal Raleigh's leading the league in home runs, yes, he still has a shot. He still has a shot by virtue of doing what he's done, by virtue of breaking every catcher record. It's still a record. He could stop right now, never hit another home run, and it's still a record. But you got to talk narrative. Part of his story is, A, he's doing it as a catcher. That's great. B, Mariners aren't in the playoffs without him. That's an important part of it. And C, you're leading the league in home runs. That's part of the story. So, I don't know. Ian, what do you think?
You're still leading the AL. You're still better than Judge. Just because there's someone else better than you doesn't mean you're better than the next guy in your league.
Very fair. I think that's a very good point. I don't think that it costs them. So, will Cal still have a shot? Yes. I think the answer is definitively yes. Right now, there are odds makers that have Cal beating Judge right now.
Yeah, they just switched to even money towards the beginning of the week, and now you can get some minus on Cal now. It's pretty crazy.
So that's where I think the odds start to shift. No longer leading in home runs. I think it shifts a bit in Judge's favor. Also, it feels silly to say he's cooling off when you're hitting 350.
He has been for the last 3 weeks,
but he's cooling off. And you know what? In New York, they're having the same conversations. Hey, is Judge DHing hurting his MVP chances? It's the same kind of thing about what things were true that aren't anymore that have changed the story. Also happening there. Should the Mariners sign Carlos Santana as a depth player? I say no, but it's kind of great to be able to say no to that. Ian, you had made a good point. Well, he didn't want to be here.
Yeah, he didn't want to come back. They offered him more money than the Guardians did in the offseason, and he turned it down. So I wonder if maybe he's got beef with the front office or something, but I know that Julio loved having him around. He was kind of his emotional support veteran. Now he's got Gino. He doesn't really need that guy.
Well, I mean, I love Carlos Santana.
Oh, yeah. I'd be happy to have him back. But
I think you're just in a different place as a club.
They're kind of spoiled for choice right now. They don't need him.
866-979-3776. How many Diet Cokes this weekend, Stacy? Infinity. I mean, at least 10 over the course of 2 days. You know how many games I'm watching? Why are you looking shocked?
How much water? What's the Diet Coke to water ratio this weekend?
Not 1-to-1. It's not 1-to-1, Matt. I'm not going to lie.
I knew it wasn't 1-to-1.
I love a Diet Coke. I'm going to keep it moving. What I need to know. I love this one. When the Mariners make the playoffs, our listener very confident, how far do you think they could realistically go? Now listen, I asked Mike Cameron what I would say is a similar question when he joined us in our last segment. He's pretty confident in this team. And honestly, when you look at the American League, and this is another conversation we had with Gary Hill, not just today, but earlier this week, is there a team that you're terrified of going into the playoffs? There are some teams that just based on matchups I wouldn't love to face. I wouldn't love to see Detroit. Frankly, just from bad luck, I wouldn't love to see the Astros, even though they're not as good a team as Detroit. I'm feeling pretty good about the Mariners. If you took that logo off and you just told someone, hey, these are their starting pitchers, everyone's healthy, and also 6 guys have 20 home runs. If you did not know that team was the Mariners, you go, I don't really want to face them.
If this lineup and pitching staff all had Yankee logos on their hats, we would never hear the end of it.
What's your little joke? The Boston Red Sox always say that?
The Louisiana Balloons.
That's
if the Yankees were called the Louisiana Balloons, nobody would ever care.
And that's the opposite being this case. If you saw that the Seattle Mariners, who do fairly have a long history of letting you down, breaking your heart, I get it. If you saw that it was not the Mariners logo, you're right. You'd feel completely different. And even knowing that they have weaknesses, their bullpen isn't as strong, okay. Hi, welcome to baseball. Unfortunately, that's the case for a lot of teams. I still like the high leverage arms. I do. Even with Munoz struggling a little bit, that Spire, Brash, Munoz combo.
Spire stepped up a lot recently.
Sick.
He's been great over the last month.
Also, you and I were praising Pizzardo during the break. Got to give him a shout out. He's been solid. 866-979-3776. What I need to know. This isn't even a question. I'm disappointed in Stacy for slandering the City Connect jersey. Listen, all of us have to have hard truths that we express with people we love, okay? I love covering the Mariners. It's fun. It's fun to do this for a job. But I have to be honest. Do you want me to lie to you? I have to be honest. I don't like the City Connect jerseys. Black pants with the blue top is not a look that I like. You might be different from me, okay? You might have worse taste. But I don't like the City Connect jerseys. Don't they have a pretty good record in them, though? I'll take winning.
Yeah,
I
think most teams' record in their City Connects is pretty good. I don't know what it is, but like the Red Sox have like 4 straight walk-offs in theirs. It's crazy.
Yeah. I'm a throwback girly. Much like I love the Sunday unis and I love the Seahawks throwbacks. And it's the color combo, the look. I'm a sucker for it. So
yeah, nothing beats the Sunday creams.
Nothing. 866-979-3776. Am I wrong, says a listener, for thinking the Mariners will only go far if they win the division and a wild card? I'm trying to figure out what they're asking here. Oh, they just think that is it a better path? Am I dumb for thinking they can actually make it further by winning the division as opposed to, I think they're saying, facing the Yankees and Red Sox? Wouldn't you?
I mean, recently the teams that have had the bye have kind of struggled, but the Mariners have struggled going on the road, and so you don't want to go to Yankee Stadium for a one-off game. That would be that doesn't bode well for the Mariners, I don't think. You're much better off winning the division.
What I need to know, I missed the show yesterday. That's rude. What was your guys' thoughts on the Seahawks' new rivalry uniform? I'm so glad you asked. I have one thought.
Not great.
It's not great. But you know what? I'm getting really hateful on this show to wrap up a week of really fun shows. I love introducing new uniforms. I love changing it up and switching it up. I don't have to like every single one. I thought they looked a little organ-y, but I'm a Husky alum, so I'm biased. Wyman and Bob coming your way next.
And the pitch on the way to Junior. It's been 27 years since a Mariner slugger has reached the half-century mark. Breaking ball, belted into the upper deck. Look out, Junior. You've got company.
Upper deck, goodbye baseball, number 50 for Cal Raleigh.
This is where you hear Cal's quest for 56.
Magical.
And the Mariners push to the playoffs. Seattle Sports, the home of the Mariners.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in Seattle without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in Seattle for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text FREE to 64,000. Seattle is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop next week right here in Seattle and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text FREE to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes, and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text FREE to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text FREE to 64,000.
Sometimes even heroes need rescuing.
I'm a retired firefighter, 27 years.
Kurt had severe pain in his knees and his shoulder, which was keeping him from enjoying his well-deserved retirement.
Loved to ski, loved to fish, and couldn't even walk 18 holes.
That's why Kurt decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
He was just awesome. He goes, yeah, give me a shot. And he took care of me. He stemmed my knee and my shoulder.
And how are you feeling now?
I was pain-free in 12 weeks. I play golf now pain-free, and it's awesome.
So you'd recommend this treatment to others in your situation?
Absolutely. Yeah, Dr. Wagner's, he's had a couple people call me, and I recommended that they do it.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya guselkumab may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Healing is possible with Tremfya. Approximately 3 out of 10 patients were in endoscopic remission at 1 year, based on areas visualized on colonoscopy, which may not represent the deeper bowel layer or entire GI tract. Individual results may vary. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Save big during Labor Day at Lowe's. Get up to 40% off select major appliances. Plus, buy more to get up to an additional 20% off. Shop even more savings with 3 Stay Green 1 cubic foot vegetable and flower garden soil bags for $10. This Labor Day, take care of your home for less at Lowe's. We help, you save. Valid through 9/3. Soil offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii. Selection varies by location. Select locations only. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details.
What is your next success story? At University of Maryland Global Campus, you can succeed again with more than 135 affordable online degrees and certificates to help you move your career forward. From cybersecurity and AI to healthcare and MBA, our programs help you build critical thinking, leadership, and communication skills that set you apart in today's job market. Apply now and save with no application fee through September 3rd. Visit umgc.edu to get started. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Luxury has arrived at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. The hotel is open and you can book now at snocasino.com. The destination spa, the expanded non-smoking gaming floor, the big 2,000-seat entertainment space and convention center, and yeah, the new restaurants, food venues as well. Effortless style and the utmost in relaxation. Go to snocasino.com to book. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger.